It's clobbering time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger, ready to move out.
Amen.
Clobber... Clob... 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 Clobberonimo!
Oh, Clobberonimo indeed, my dear friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Greetings, clobberers, clobberonimos, clobberettes, clobberoosies, and every other clobber out there. And the secret to everyone else is to bang the rocks together, guys.
Clobberonimo!
Yes, we indeed. My dear friends, it is so great to have you here on a monumental occasion, the beginning of a new leg of our journey, of a momentous journey that we started a good while back, and it's a well, hey, we're nervous because we're just starting out on a new one here, and it's the final frontier ahead of us is the vast, the great unknown.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but anyway.
Everyone in the chat is saying everything that I'm thinking. Everyone's wondering how everyone is going to react to the new iteration. We finally made it to Voyager, boss.
We've made it to Voyager, yes, indeed. Yeah. So, well, before we get started, let us start out with some opening words. Get all the beeswax out of the way, and it'll be it may be a shorter show than usual because we're only reviewing one thing, but we'll see how that goes. But we'll have a nice, relaxed, kickback, just hang out stream tonight, just to kick this voyage off with a bang, so to speak. And before we do that, I want to let my wonderful, beautiful, fantastic, most amazing first officer in the fleet, Commander R.M. Briggs, start out with any opening words she may have, and we'll go from there.
Well, I want to start with I love you. And the next thing I want to say is I genuinely like giggled before this show started because I feel so honored to call everyone in our chat my Star Trek buddies. This is our Trekkie crew. I love them all so much. I cannot wait to hear what they have to say about Voyager. So I'm just tickled pink that everyone is here. I'm so grateful and honored to be here and to count all of you as my friends. You guys are just simply the best. I want to start with Ravenscroft 82, who was sort of confused by the intro where you see all that orange dust with all of those names coming up. Ravenscroft, each one of those names represents one of the characters or one of my short stories. So they're the names of my short stories in my book. I'm not sure if volume 2 will also have that same style. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it quite yet, but thank you for the question. The next thing I want to say is I hope I said thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you to all the wrenches for showing up to help herd us cats. We're all wild cats here. And I have a new book coming out. And I am receiving the most wonderful support as an independent, non-corporate author because of 16 very special people and their families who have stepped forward to back my new book that they have been reading before anyone else on my Patreon. And those amazing folks are as follows: Larry, Tony Stark, Sean Carter, Cardinal Sin, also known as Gil Bavel, Shooter, Chris Persia, Scuba and Leslie Pete, Eric K. and my marvelous Doug Kirby, Enigmatic Drop Bear, Michael and Cassandra Beacom, Mark D with a C and his family, damn it, Mark, but not your family, Anti-Derivative Jill, Maximum Redstone, JT Kirk, Dadman and the Dadman clan, and of course, Lord and Lady Thoth and their marvelous beagle, Lanza Thoth, which is just my joke to them. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to talk about Voyager. And now I'm going to turn it over to the captain. He's going to tell you a bit about our show and say hello to each and every one of you.
Yes, indeed. A couple of show notes, not many though, and shout outs. Basically, the great Mark D with the C is going out on another away mission. I don't know if he's going to stop in here later tonight or not, but this weekend there will be no Sunday night geekery, which we usually have. So we won't, just letting everyone know, he won't have that, but it'll be back next week, same Mark time, same Mark channel on Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. However, I will be at the great J-Man's channel at 6 p.m. Central Monday to continue 3 times a month. We're chronicling the in chronological order from the bronze, the golden, the silver to the Bronze Age, sort of golden, sort of silver to Bronze Age, Legion of Superheroes. And then, of course, I'll have my regular Monday night Mark C Comics Talk after that, and all the usual shows. I'll make those announcements later. So that's nothing big going on there. That's more important to greet all of you fantastic friends, because I'll tell you what, without you, why would we be here at all, right? I mean, you've made this journey that we've taken on, which was just crazy that we would do such a thing.
You'll have to self-shin kick.
I mean, I don't know what we were thinking. I got to be honest with you. When we did this, just Looney Tunes to do this here. But here we are, right? So it's just amazing. Before I start out with the shout outs, I would say that it's so amazing to have all of you here in the chat, but it's also amazing to have our dear friends who lurk, who maybe some of them are able to participate.
Yeah.
Really, really appreciate you out there lurking. And our buddy Eric O'Sullivan. And anyone else who's out there looking that can't make it. And of course, also, if you're watching this later on a download or a rewatch, as they say, or whatever you want to call it, we thank you so much for that. We, again, really appreciate that. It's just amazing that you do that for us, and you're just as big a part of the show as anyone who is here with us. So, we got an unbelievable crew here tonight. So let's start what we'll do is we'll start out with our regular the wrenches, and then we'll say hi to everyone, no matter how long it takes, no matter how many of them there are here in the chat that we see the name of, because you're all so important to us. Starts, of course, with the great Eric K., the Bronze Wrencher.
Good evening, Eric.
Hey, buddy. Thanks for being here, man.
He made a beautiful dinner and sent me pictures of it. He's a naughty boy.
Bad Eric. The Vindicated Wrencher, the Great White North, the extraordinary Chris Persia. Thanks for all you do, my friend.
Hello, sweetheart. I love you so much. Thank you for the beautiful show poster that you're putting up on your social media, for taking the time to make beautiful things to promote my friend's channel and this show and all my friends' shows. Clobby and I really appreciate you so much, and you do such beautiful work. So just thank you for being such a loyal and kind and generous friend. You're the best, baby.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you so much. Even if they're here or not, they get the shout out, of course, the great D. Bud Martin, Wrench of Iron.
Resident mathematician.
The extraordinary Lord Thoth, Chief of Security, the God of Wrenching. And, of course, shout out to his wonderful better half, the lovely Lady Thoth. Avon lives. Long live the Legion, buddy. And, of course, my partner in crime on Earth, be fellow Legionnaire reviewer extraordinaire, the Wrench Without Fear, J-Man. Hey, buddy.
Crack, smack, pow. J-Man had to leave very quickly because he has an early day tomorrow. So he exited the building. But I want to let you all know right now that J-Man is a horror author. His name is Jason. You need to follow him over on his Twitter and track him down on his Amazon and support him, because he's a talented horror author. His wife is an award-winning poet here in Canada. So here you have these two writers in our community, and they're truly wonderful people. They support other authors in Canada and abroad. So I would love to see us give them a little bit of payback. So why don't you follow J-Man and his marvelous, beautiful wife?
In case you do, you're here long enough to hear this, Mr. Angel, I understand. Feeling horrible. Sounds are messing him up right now. But we love you, brother. If you hear this, just to hear one more sound, and that is the sound of your friends loving you and wishing you the best. Feel better, bro.
Yep.
You may not even have heard that, but let's give it a shot. Okay. Master of the Claboni and comic artist extraordinary, Hungry Boy HB. Maddie's dad. Oh, where's Maddie's daddy? I give him backwards. Maddie's daddy, Thor in Vegas and Rio de Wrenchbionia. Then Daddy! Super Wrench Supreme, the great Kal-El. I don't know if he's here tonight, but he's a great friend of the show. Appreciate him. Of course, the rascally wrench himself, the Fanty Outsider.
Fanty!
Clobbering Time's own. Our own music meister, the great Maximum Redstone.
Maximum Redstone.
Music meister. All right. So now, of course, take it easy. Take it easy, Chef. We love you, brother. I hope you feel better.
And anyone who is caring for Chef, because I know that he is in the hospital, I just want to say to all of the staff caring for our ship's chef, please take good care of him, and thank you for all that you do for our marvelous chef. Good night, Chef. Go get some sleep, sweetheart.
Get some rest, buddy. So now our shout-outs. Of course, as always, we shout out to the great Mark D with a C, whether he's here or not. We hope he's doing well. He might pop in later, we hope. But anyway, big shout out to the great...
Damn it, Mark!
The great chief engineer, of course. Also, our wonderful communications officer, anti-derivative Jill. Jelly! She's out there somewhere, I'm sure. There she is, right there. Okay, and before I continue, I'm going to do this really quick so we can get all these names really quick, though. A shout out to a friend who's not been here in a long time, but he's tried to be here. You're all probably familiar with the name J.D. Lewis. Mm-hmm. He had a bit of an accident. If you're hearing this, JD, he may not be hearing it, but just in case. And he hurt himself pretty badly the other day. But and I won't go into any kind of details or anything like that, but it is said that he is recovering and he's doing okay. So a big Clobbering Time shout out to our great buddy J.D. Lewis.
Oh, yes.
Take care, my brother.
Sending soft hugs, good vibes. And if you pray, say a little prayer for him. JD.
JD.
Goodness.
All right. Mega Crupper. I'm gonna shout these out quick, everybody, so we can say hello. I want to get everybody because we got a man. What a group, man! What an amazing group. I never imagined we'd having this many people this early. It's incredible.
And
So-
Larry is at it again. Larry just gifted another 5 channel memberships.
Aw.
Larry, the man who is so nice, you have to say his name twice, probably thrice. Larry, I love you, baby. Mwah.
Larry, thank you so much, buddy. You're too kind, man. And I want to thank, of course, Victor Fontaine. That is so generous of you, that super chat. Victor, you're too kind, but thank you so much. I don't know what to say other than to read your generous super chat, and I will right now. It says, hail to Captain Clobby and Commander R.M. Briggs, the 2 absolute best officers in the fleet hall. Man, I'm blushing already, man. Medals of honor to both of you for hosting such an enjoyable, in-depth assessment of Star Trek. Saturdays with you and everyone on this streams are awesome. Oh, my goodness.
We love you so much, Vic. That is
Thank
so
you,
generous
Vic.
and so kind.
Yes. I don't know what to say, buddy. Thank you, sir. But I'm so honored and grateful for your generosity for that. And thank you so much. We love everyone being here. What a great group we all have. You're all the best. You're all the best.
Yeah.
Thank
good
you
friends.
so much.
We are spoiled with good friends.
Big time. Joseph Dredd, here comes the judge.
Hey.
Jacob Ironside, hello there.
Hey, Jacob, we haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you.
Shooter.
Pew.
Needishness. Raymond and Sandra Feliciano, King Dolphin TV.
King Dolphin TV.
In color. By the way, there are links, and anyone can get them. Raymond, please. Raymond, put your links to your channel. Of course, Raymond, he was streaming tonight. He streams a lot. They have a great channel. And of course, he's an author, all that kind of stuff. We hope you guys are, I know you've gone some adversity of late. And I hope you're picking up the pieces and doing your best with it. Love you guys both. Great friends, longtime friends of the channel, the Felicianos. They are the best. And so, big shout out to them.
Heck yes.
Penny. Hey, Penny.
Evening, Penny.
It's good to see you, Penny. And guess who's here? The Gwag Man.
Wagner.
Ravenscroft 82. Hey.
Good evening.
The aforementioned Mr. Angel, the chef. Larry, buddy. All right, man. Good to see you. Linrod, hey.
Whoa, Lenrod, Hot Rod, good evening. But oh my goodness, Chris Persia is telling me that Shooter just donated 10 memberships. You guys are building this community. We love you so much, you guys.
Thank you, Shooter. Thank you,
pew.
Shooter. Appreciate that so much. You're too kind, buddy.
If you don't know how to pick up one of those memberships, please approach one of our wrenches and they'll give you a hand. Our wrenches are the best.
Indeedishness. Indeed. Sander Hammerslag. Hey.
Evening, Sander.
Absolutely. Simply Steve. What is up, brother?
Hey, sweetheart.
Yes, P4H. What's up, my friend?
Good evening.
The lovely Lisa. We've finally got the Voyager for you.
Lisa! She's probably so excited. She loves Voyager.
She loves Voyager, so she's in the right place. And they call him Scuba Pete. He's the king of the Ramba Beach when he plays the maracas. He goes chip, chicky boom, chip, chicky boom. Sorry. I know he probably hates that. But he's deserved it. What? And yeah, he has deserved it. So let's see where we at up in here. Sorry. Got a little there we go. Brian Hepburn, my friend. Oh man, you know him, you love him, you cannot live without him. The great enigmatic drop bear.
Indeed, the erudite bear. We're going to have so much fun tonight. I cannot wait because Enigmatic Drop Bear has only partially watched this. So it's going to be the same thing as with DS9. We're going to get marvelous reviews out of this very clever and wonderful person who, he generates so much conversation. He's such a wonderful person to have around. But we have to make sure that we don't throw out any spoilers because he will be experiencing this at least partially for the first time. So very exciting.
No future spoilers. When we review the shows, we're spoilering them. But future,
exactly.
Hey, the master of the starship, and he's got some ships for us tonight, as he often does. The great Wolfie. Bubba Doom won him, my friend. Hey,
Bubba Doom.
Fill Up Gaming. Hey there. Welcome.
Good
Good to
evening.
see you. Let's see here. Captain Infinity and Beyond.
Captain Infinity and Beyond.
I may not have any time travel for you this week, but you wait, buddy. We'll have some time travel for you to take care of. Let's see up in you. They're not an Amanda Bear, my friend. Always good to see you.
Rod.
Sean Carter from
Mars.
He's not really from Mars, folks. We're trying to
He's really from Mars. Don't listen to Clobby.
I was trying to cover up for him, but if you're gonna be that way about it. Turing Machine.
Oh, the Alan Turing Machine. I love this person's handle. What a great handle to choose.
RJ Godzilla.
Hey,
what's up, my
RJ?
friend? Hey. Midnight's Oblivion. Hello, Midnight's Oblivion.
Hey,
Always good to
Midnight's
see you
Oblivion.
there.
Nice to see you.
Yes. Fiona. All right,
good evening.
Fiona. What's up, love?
Don't forget to curtsy.
Indeedishness. Tobor the robot. Tobor the robot.
Cool name.
Snail Messiah. What's up? Hey.
Good evening. As
Admiral.
HB would address you, the mighty mollusk.
Admiral Teague. What's up, Admiral Teague?
That's pretty good, Club.
Anonymous Gamer. Indeed. The Dadman and the Dadman clan.
Yay!
The aforementioned great Victor Fontaine. Thank you again. And the AI show is here.
Nice.
I hope we've gotten everybody. We're going to get on to business now because I think I've covered it. If not, we'll get anyone else who piles in, of course. But right now, I think we're going to get on to beeswax. Oh, thank you, Sean. I'm actually from Venus, like that Twilight Zone episode. Will the real Martian please stand up? That's a great episode. So, here we go. Let us begin. Now, again, as we always do, we like to recap a little bit for anyone who is new or maybe out there listening. Just take a second. In January of 2021, we undertook a serious mission, our ongoing mission. Number one and myself here on the Starship Clobber Prize is to seek out and review all of real Star Trek, meaning, of course, 66 through 05. Nothing else after that matters. Anything else bearing that label falsely is filth, as we call it. So we're going to review it all. And we have since. We started with the original series, of course. Then moved on to the animated series, the original crew films, Star Trek The Next Generation. And then, of course, last week, we finished with all of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And now, tonight, it's on to another leg, our second to last leg in this mission, Star Trek Voyager. What we will do tonight, like we always do, is we're just going to do the pilot tonight, which of course is called Caretaker. You can call it one part, two parts, whatever you want. We're just going to do that. I'm just treating it as one part. You do what you want. So, and what we have a frame of reference, just as with the other shows, which is a book. Which is not to put too fine a point on it, this book, Star Trek Voyager: A Celebration.
And go ahead.
No. In fact, I will now turn it over to number one. She'll explain a little bit more about what we're doing, and then we will move on to review our pilot episode of Star Trek Voyager.
Well, thank you so much, boss. Yeah, so the boss put up an image. If you're listening to us like an old-time radio hour or in the car, or you've downloaded us and you're listening to us on your commute or on a plane, it's an image of Star Trek Voyager: A Celebration. It's a hardcover book. And right now I will give you the ISBN. The ISBN 10, because this is an international crowd, is 1-858-756-146. Again, that number is 1-858-756-146. The ISBN 13 is 978-185-875-6141. Again, 978-185-875-6141. And let's be honest, folks. Usually I vet books for you for quality. Unfortunately, because Trekkies have been on the internet for a really long time and there's a lot of user-generated content, a lot of people believe that they know the facts about Star Trek when they really don't. We have one of the worst fandoms for factoids. People have just been telling this BS for so long that they think it's fact and it's actually not. So I try and bring in a text so we have something that we can get some facts from. You're not going to see people, copying and pasting stuff from IMDb trivia into our chat and talking about it because, it is mostly wrong. And I really do mean that. If you check it, it's mostly wrong. But with this Voyager book, I picked it simply because it's the best reliable licensed information, and there's not much out there. There could be a great deal of filth in this. I haven't had a chance to review it because Amazon delivered 2 damaged books to me. So I'm still waiting for my copy. It will be here on July 18th, which I got from Indigo Chapters. But I hear that this book is really terrific in divulging key information about what went on behind the scenes with production and so on and so forth. And so it should be quite interesting. But once again, we will have to rely on the dubious summaries provided by Wikipedia because the information just isn't out there. So this book was written and published in 2020. It could be filth-ridden. I will be reviewing it and looking for that production information, looking for that licensed, confirmed, factual information, and passing it along to you. So that's it, folks. We're never going to talk this in depth about this book ever again. If you'd like to get it, please do. This is the text that we will look to for facts, not those user-generated sites. IMDb is a cesspool. Memory Alpha is now a place for filth. And Wikipedia is it's pure poo. So get those facts, not those factoids.
Yep. There you go. Well, on to the episode, eh?
Let's do it, boss.
Where we go, folks. Tonight, of course, Star Trek Voyager, the very beginning, the pilot. Caretaker.
Yeah, this is Voyager, folks. Welcome. This is Caretaker. This is season 1, episode 1 and 2. But this is an international show. So if you just watched this and it seemed as though it was one episode, that's okay. It is the pilot. It's an international show, and they tend to dice up Star Trek however they see fit. This is production code 101 and 102. This was first broadcast on January 16, 1995. This is a completely organic show. Clobby and I don't discuss the reviews beforehand. We don't read anything beforehand. We don't talk about anything beforehand. This is live and organic so that we can all experience it as Trekkies together in one room. That said, I'm going to be reading from Wikipedia about the plot. It is quite long. I haven't read it before. If it sucks and has things that are wrong about it, we'll pump the brakes and make sure we get it right. Let's do this.
Indeed.
A scrolling text introduces the Cardassian and Federation relationship with the Maquis rebels. The opening scene shows the Cardassians pursuing a small Maquis spacecraft that escapes into the Badlands, a volatile nebula. The Cardassian vessel is damaged by a plasma storm, and the Maquis ship is caught in the displacement wave. On Earth, Captain Catherine Janeway of the Federation starship USS Voyager recruits Tom Paris, a disgraced former Starfleet officer and now a captured Maquis member, to help find the missing Maquis spacecraft. Janeway, spacecraft? What? Who wrote this? They're actually after these Maquis, these rogue people who should be out there conducting guerrilla warfare. Anyway, dumb. Yeah. Janeway is searching for Tuvok, her security officer, who was a spy aboard the Maquis ship. Departing Deep Space Nine, Voyager journeys to the Badlands, where it is scanned by a coherent Tetrion beam before a displacement wave hits and wreaks havoc on the ship. The crew recovers and finds themselves in the Delta Quadrant, 70,000 light years from Federation space. Fatalities include Voyager's second-in-command, helm officer, chief officer, and medical staff. The emergency medical hologram is activated to treat the injured. Before determining their bearings, the crew is transported to a holographic simulation aboard a nearby array controlled by a being known as the Caretaker. Seeing through the simulation, the Voyager crew discover the unconscious Maquis crew undergoing strange medical experiments. The Voyager crew are subjected to the same experiments. Later, both crews awaken on their own vessel and find each are missing one crew member, Harry Kim from Voyager and the Maquis B'Elanna Torres. Attempts to negotiate with the Caretaker are fruitless, as he insists that there is no time. Janeway offers to work with the Maquis leader Chakotay, a former Starfleet officer, to find missing crew and return to the Alpha Quadrant. The two ships follow an energy pulse sent from the array to a nearby planet. En route, they encounter Neelix, a space trader eager to assist them in exchange for water and rescuing his companion, the Ocampa Kes, from the violent Kazon that inhabit the planet's surface. Kes's people live in a subterranean complex cared for by the Caretaker, who supplies them with energy and other essentials. The only expectation is that they tend to any being sent to them, each suffering an incurable disease. As the crew determine how to rescue Kim and Torres, the Caretaker realigns the array and fires more frequent energy bursts. Vulcan Chief's security, Tuvok, deduces that the Caretaker is dying and is ensuring that the Ocampa are kept safe by sealing the underground complex, though eventually their resources will be depleted. With time running short, a combined away team penetrates the shields protecting the complex and rescues Kim and Torres. The crew again asks the Caretaker to return them to the Alpha Quadrant. He reveals that he was a part of an ancient alien race whose technology accidentally destroyed the Ocampan plant's atmosphere, leaving it helpless. In recompense, he and another of his race have cared for the Ocampa ever since. Well, that's not exactly true, because the other member of his race left shortly thereafter, growing bored of the idea of caring for their ant farm. What do they call it again when you put the ants into the sand and you bought them? Ant farm? Whatever.
Ant farm? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah, so that's not true. His companion, having long moved on, he experiments on species from distant galactic sectors, hoping to find a compatible match so that he could reproduce and pass the responsibility off to his offspring. Nearing death, the Caretaker initiates the array's self-destruct sequence to prevent the technology from falling to the Kazon. As the Caretaker dies, the ships are attacked by the Kazon fleet. Janeway and Chakotay coordinate a counterattack to protect the array. Chakotay sacrifices his vessel to destroy a Kazon ship, but the damaged array disables the self-destruct sequence. Janeway opts to respect the Caretaker's wishes and orders the array destroyed, despite it being their only chance of returning home. With the array destroyed, the Kazon disengage. Their leader informs Janeway that she has made an enemy. Yeah. As Voyager begins a 75-year journey back to the Alpha Quadrant, Janeway integrates the Maquis into the Starfleet crew. With Chakotay as her second in command, Janeway reinstates Paris as the Starfleet officer.
Wow.
Holding the rank of lieutenant, and assigns him as a helmsman.
What is he supposed to be?
Neelix and Kes join the crew as guides.
You're killing me.
And that is all Wikipedia has to say about the Caretaker. Boss, Captain, my Captain, mon Capitaine, please tell me, what did you think of Caretaker, Season 1, Episode 1, and 2?
Hey, welcome, Jerry Lane, by the way. That was my favorite episode of all time after that review. You're killing me. Oh, my God. That's the best ever. I love when you do that.
I love you, Club.
It's crazy. Like, wow, you're poo-pooing him being this. You were poo-pooing Paris being the helmsman. Like, what's he going to be? The janitor? I mean, I don't know. What the hell? Is that so wrong? I mean, really? Wow. That's hilarious. Oh, my God. Well, all right. let me give you my philosophy on pilots. I tend to give them a pretty wide berth generally because pilots have one job. Now, whether you like the idea that this is a show about a starship, a Federation starship stuck way out there in 75,000 zillion light years away, or what have you, and them having that gimmick set up where they're teamed up with when they have to coexist with a Maquis crew or whatever. What do you think of the Maquis? Any of that? They do have to set up their premise. They've got to have some excuse to be out there. And hey, Rob Altus, what's up, my friend?
Hey, Rob.
Oh, great to see you. So you've got to have some kind of premise, even if it's flimsy, or you're just not the show, or it may not be the show for you. You know, if you're not really into the premise. So I kind of give it some slack. Plus, it has a job. Mm-hmm. The pilot has to sell you. It's got to sell first. It has to sell to the network, or whomever's going to be syndicating it, or in this case, it was the UPN network, I believe. Mm-hmm. And then it's got an even tougher job. It's got to pull in audience, make people want to watch beyond the pilot, right?
That's right.
And it's got to grab you right away. So I think so. They're always they can tend to be a bit clunky, a bit set up-ish. You're never going to find any finer pilots than the Cage or Where No Man Has Gone Before. They're both just brilliant. I mean, I even thought Encounter at Farpoint did an okay job. It just kind of started stumbling after that episode. Yep. Thought it was fairly entertaining though. That when I first watched it, it got me. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. You know, and then of course we all know what happens later. But anyway, The Emissary I thought was very clunky, and not really because I didn't care much for the setup. I'm not sure that was a pilot that really grabbed me. This one, I don't know. I mean, it's supposed to set you up and get you interested in the characters. It's gonna. This show takes a while to do that, and for me, I got to tell you that I kind of liked Paris in this one. I kind of liked Paris for a while, and then they never really. I mean, I never disliked him, mind you, but he never really. I don't think they met his full potential as a character because I liked the actor. He was a good actor. I thought he was gonna. I remember when I first saw this episode in what was it, 94?
95.
95.
Scott!
Hey, Scott Knudsen.
Oh my gosh, Scott, that's so generous. That's so sweet.
Oh man, thank you so much. Let's see. He says, thank you for that, Scott. I really appreciate you. He says, Voyager. I bailed out on this show right after the episode where they exceeded, it's called Threshold. Exceeded Warp 10 and became slugs or something. It annoyed me that all the careful world building of the TNG tech manual was so casually tossed aside. Did you know they did a toy of that one, Scott? I kid you not.
Gross. Come on.
I swear to God, there's a figure of it. I'm not. Yes. There's a double pack or whatever. The slug. Hey, PD York. Hello there.
Slug sexy time happens. Oh, listen, we shouldn't be talking about this.
That's next year, but everyone knows about it. But yeah, you're right. But anyway, thank you so much, Scott. And good to see you, PDR.
Oh, also, so you know, Lenrod Hot Rod hasn't watched Voyager.
Oh, okay. Well, he's
an old school Trekkie, so this is.
I got a spoiler alert up here. So
okay, good.
If you care about spoilers, right now is not the time for you because we're going to talk about what happened in the episode. But you're right. We shouldn't spoil future episodes.
Yeah, don't spoil the future. But this episode, let's do it.
Okay, so no more spoiling a future episode. So anyway. I thought this episode is clunky in some ways. I know you don't like the Maquis. I don't like the Maquis either. I hate everything about that premise, but it's there. You know. So if it's there and it's what this show chose to be about, then at least make the best of it. I say I'm one of those few that doesn't dislike Chakotay like a lot of people do. So they're going to be part of the crew, and that's
the Offspring is going to be really happy to hear that because right before I got on air. I was I was speaking with the Offspring, and the Offspring said exactly what you just said.
What?
About Chakotay.
Like Chakotay does the Offspring? Okay, it's a fair call. I mean, people usually don't. People always beat up on him. I thought the idea, again, I don't like the Maquis, but I thought that is a pretty interesting idea. You're not only putting them way, way out there in space, they're going to have to coexist with this renegade fashion of a lot of former Starfleet people and former Federation people. It's good for creating drama. Is it a bit contrived and phony drama? It gets a little bit. Yeah, I think you could say it's a little bit contrived, But I thought overall this episode does it does come up with a fairly decent, I hate to use the word excuse, but let's just use it, excuse for them to be trapped out into so far away. And I'll just leave it at that for now and let you go with your notes. Bearing in mind, everyone, we don't have any other episodes tonight. We're just doing this one, so we can take our time.
Yes.
And yes, we can all take our time. And number one will now do her notes.
Okay, so these are my notes. I've been watching Star Trek for over 45 years. And when Clobby and I decided to do this, I knew we were going to get into a pretty deep dive. And so I started taking notes. So some of these notes represent my thoughts as an academic and as a professional author. And some of them are just facts that I know are true for sure, that are verifiable, and not just through somebody's silly memoir with their wishful thinking, but actual facts. So that if you're new around here, that's what you can expect from my notes. I am an academic, and I do expect evidence at every turn, in-text citation at every turn. So these are the notes, done on a piece of paper and a pencil. The Caretaker has a great opening scene, but I'm not a fan of the Maquis, and I know Gene Roddenberry wouldn't be either. I love the intro. I think the intro, the music, the whole intro, it's fabulous. I never ever hit a skip intro ever.
Beautiful music. Jerry Goldsmith, one of his finest works.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. It's glorious. This is what Star Trek should look like. This is what Star Trek should sound like. Are you listening, filth morons?
Yes.
Why does Tom Paris need money for bar bills? The Maquis is supposedly supported by members of the United Federation of Planets. According to Jerry Taylor et al., the Maquis are illegally supplied basically with unlimited weapons and Starfleet technology. So by these quote unquote Federation sympathizers. And I put quote unquote Federation because new people who watch Star Trek have no idea what Star Trek actually is, to the point where they're making fools out of themselves. Because, you know, the United Federation of Planets started from Earth as something like NASA, which was the United Earth Space Probe Agency. And then along comes Gene L. Kuhn, and he sits down with Gene Roddenberry, and he decides that we need a UN. We need to show that all of these planets are going to have a United Nations. So the United Federation of Planets, despite the way that people use that, the Federation, it should be known that it represented hundreds of planets at the time of Kirk and thousands of planets at the time of Picard. Okay? So anyways, the most important thing to know is that blues would flow freely in the Starfleet supplied replicators. And Bubba Doom!
Bubba Doom, thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate that. You're too kind. Hey, Keely Chow, roll tide, my friend. Good to see you. Bubba Doom says, this is a harsh review. It's still better than STD.
It is.
One, Mrs. Columbo is a bad captain. She stuck her nose into internal affairs of the dollar store Klingons.
Dollar store Klingons?
I love it.
Oh, that's juicy, baby.
The Maquis did nothing wrong. 3, Neelix. 4, Tuvok is a rat.
God, I love that.
Well said, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, so I always forget her name. I rewatched Star Trek, all 735 iterations of Star Trek, folks, starting on January 1st. But once people started talking weird smack during the vid, I stopped doing it. I think her name is Stotty. I think Stotty is absolutely gorgeous, and I wish they would have left her on the show.
Are you talking about the young lady with the Betazoid?
Yeah, the Betazoid.
Oh God, she was great. Hey, Blunt Philly Reviews, good to see you.
Hey, Blunt Philly Reviews. She was in a lot of like low budget television at the time here in Canada, and I like her. I think she has raw sex appeal, and I also think that she is one heck of an actress. So I feel bad that they got rid of Stotty. Why is Voyager, with 141 people capacity, bigger than the 1701D that has over 1,300 people in capacity?
Is it? I've been wondering about the size of the ship, actually.
Against DS9, it's way too big.
Okay.
And then why is the shuttle pod from Voyager marked 71325, and then it's marked 1701D
Oop.
in its second scene? It should not be. So
Oops.
if you're wondering if I'm telling you the truth on that, remember I'm an academic and I teach college classes. So you can just look for it at 9 minutes 12 seconds.
Wow.
So I don't like that kind of stuff, especially because this is supposed to be Jerry Taylor, and Jerry Taylor was hired to make sure that these type of continuity errors did not occur. So, asleep at the wheel. I don't like this idea of bioneural cells, because neural, it would be biological by its very nature. So I don't like the fact that we have an instant introduction to this pseudo psychobabble that's supposed to sound scientific, but to anyone with any level of education, it sounds quite silly. So bioneural cells, what? It's like, biological. Like, I don't know. Come on, stop it. Quark shows us how naive Harry Kim is, and it is a wonderful scene. It's one of the highlights of this episode. Just absolutely love it. And then we're presented with this fiery Irish redhead, and we are introduced to our very first openly passionate captain. She's very emotive. She, her face, she shows a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
I absolutely love when she looks at Harry Kim, though, and she shows that gruff Irish lady. If you ask an Irish lady, she's a goddess, she's a princess, she's the most dainty woman around. But if she sees you fighting in an alley, you're going to get a slap and she's going to drag you by your ear. So we get to see that no nonsense, tough girl attitude from her when she says to Harry Kim, "At ease before you sprain something." I love that line. I think it's terrific.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I grow to love Tom Paris, but I find Tom Paris annoying in this episode. He comes off as the Admiral's snot-nosed little brat, and he needs to be pulled by his ear somewhere and then shin kicked into oblivion. I'm always annoyed whenever I watch this on rewatches that Janeway has a too perfect bun. So after the initial shockwave, she's dropped to the ground. She looks very disheveled. More than a third of her hair has fallen down, and she emerges in engineering with a perfect bun. And what's worse is I have waist length red hair, and so I could definitely tell you that not only is it a perfect bun that would require a comb, but it's a different kind of bun. So it's annoying. And the doctor is in. And I need to say that because, of course, the doctor is my husband's favorite.
Mine too. I love him.
Yeah, I mean, he's just terrific, and he's going to provide so much comedy. He's just going to be wonderful. I'm looking forward to hanging out with him again. If the crew is all accounted for, reports Paris when they get to the array, then where are all of the injured and where are all of the dead? Okay, so there was no casualty report. Janeway doesn't ask for a casualty report. No casualty report is given. They just announce, unfortunately, that the bridge crew that have died, and then they later find out about the medical bay people. But I think it's weird that Michael Piller and Jerry Taylor, who are supposed to be in like a production mode, this is their job. They wrote this teleplay, that they didn't realize they were making fools out of themselves there. I think that this is a crazy cool abduction scene. When we get into the array and we see that long hallway and we see the way that these people are being violated with the scary, rod being inserted into their chest. It's every science fiction fan's best craziest imagining, if it were to happen to you. I love Tuvok. I love Tuvok. I love
Yeah.
Tuvok.
Yeah.
In 1995, I thought it was really great that Harry Kim was a band nerd and that he played clarinet. I did learn to play the clarinet when I was younger. It wasn't my main instrument, but I did learn to play it. And in 1995, I was tickled pink that Harry Kim played the clarinet. I never, ever, ever liked Neelix. And so I just want to do this math for people. It is 2023. In 1995, I was a mom. It's been 28 years. I've been watching this for 28 years, and I still hate Neelix. Just absolutely annoying, worthless, idiotic troll baby character. You know those little troll babies they had? I don't know. We had them in Canada. I hope you had them in the US. He looks like a troll baby, okay?
I guess I got used to him, but I understand he was annoying. Yeah.
Yeah, like super annoying. Like it's so annoying. I have loved and hated B'Elanna Torres. And my relationship with her over the last 28 years has gone from love to hate.
Wow.
So I don't know how it's going to turn out now that I'm over 50. I think the lovely subterranean civilization is just beautiful, but it's important to let everyone know why people who watch all of Star Trek sometimes get the titles mixed up and sometimes get things that happen in the episodes mixed up. And that is because it borrows so much from the Star Trek before. And here we see the shameless, stolen idea of these caretaker tales. And they're definitely taken from TOS. We can start with Vol, for one. Vol, you don't need a literary degree to figure out that one or a film degree to figure out that one. So just remember that TOS it was the mind of Gene Roddenberry when he sat down with those napkins and those little pieces of paper and pitched his first 10 stories. That's where this idea comes from. It comes from the man himself. I hate Neelix with Kes. One thing I don't like is that in all of Voyager, they never tell us how this grossness happened. How did this sick, gross, nasty relationship happen? How and why?
They don't explain how they. That's right. They don't really say how they met. They just know each other already.
Yeah, and like look at Neelix,
Yeah.
and look at the way he behaves. He's so annoying. I would go to the replicator. I would ask to replicate a fly swatter, and every time he came near me, I would whack him with the fly swatter, like really hard. I also hate the Kazon. I do see them as dollar store Klingons.
The Klingon. Yeah. The Klingon.
So bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Matt G, hey there.
Matt G. Reminds me of Logan's Run. So if you know science fiction, you know this feels very much like Logan's Run. The famous Star Trek metal bridge becomes a trope here. So it happens 2 times in TNG. Of course, we see it with 2 Rikers. We see it in Generations. I always cringe when I see the metal bridge trope, which belongs to Star Trek and is used again and again, and they need to stop using it. How did B'Elanna Torres and Harry Kim get their clothes back from the caretaker? Harry, I understand he could request it from the quartermaster or perhaps from the replicator, but the head-to-toe leathers of the Maquis were ordered from sickbay for B'Elanna? Jerry Taylor, Michael Pillar, you guys, you had quite a lot to say about Gene Roddenberry. You had quite a lot to say about what you contributed. How about just doing your job? When you're an editor, when you are meant to oversee continuity, when you are meant to oversee concepts, it's your job to do that. An editor is someone who protects their author, and you didn't do a good job there. And you're the author. I mean, one thing that I absolutely love about this episode that just makes it so lovely and sweet that I just love it so much is that it's non-filth. We get a lovely message about government, totalitarianism, and socialism here. It's very clear that a government isn't a caretaker. And that dialogue that happens in this teleplay is quite lovely and quite exact. It's on the nose. It's not pretending that it's not saying that. It's directly saying that. And this was a danger that we face that we used to openly talk about all the time. And certainly Gene Roddenberry did. And that's why he was always talking about this caretaker idea, because a lot of people are worried. I'm a communications and technology scholar. A lot of people like Elon Musk, people like myself, who are educated in this field or working in this field, in Elon's case, we are quite concerned with this overseer from AI and trusting this one government or this one idea or this one machine to run society. And it's not smart. So I really love that this teleplay draws that out. It sort of says, if you choose AI and that AI is fed by one caretaker, that's totalitarianism. That's and everyone is treated equal, and everyone's treated like an ant in an ant farm that that you give to a kid at Christmas time. That is the worst kind of socialism, the worst type of totalitarianism. Government isn't a caretaker. And so I love that discussion here. It's high time. I mean, after the browbeating and the idiotic ham-handed crap in DS9, it's nice to see a juicier, more adult dialogue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why wouldn't Janeway send a sequenced torpedo group after they went home? I'm going to say that again. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't Janeway just send a sequenced torpedo group after they went home?
After who went home?
Well, they could go home. They could type in what they needed to type in. Tuvok wanted to type in the coordinates to send them home, and Janeway said no. She said, we have to destroy this array. Why not put a couple of torpedoes on the array, set them for 2 minutes after they go home? They go home. Once again, you're an editor. Right. You're as an editor, your job is to protect the authorship. Your job is to protect the integrity of the continuity of the plot of everything that's happening here. And here we have two top paid people, Michael Piller, who used to fight with my Gene Roddenberry. Yes, I say he's my Gene Roddenberry, and Jerry Taylor, who's a crap talker. And they didn't do that here. Not very good writing. It's kind of dumb. And I'll tell you something else. It doesn't pass the Kirk test. Kirk would have said, Scotty, get 5 probes together and to detonate after we leave. And we'll have just enough time. So I don't like that. I do like a Chakotay's response to B'Elanna that would be realistic behavior for someone in his position. I love the way that he talks to her. I love this character. I think he's quite good. And the dialogue that transpires between B'Elanna and Chakotay when she becomes unruly is quite believable and quite compelling. The chain of command, this idea of a full integration of the Maquis officers, is too easy and too soon. Also, I find Paris far too obstinate. We're talking about a crew of 141. There are no civilians on board. This is a full military thing that's going on Voyager. There would be plenty of people to choose from. And it's very important to realize that science fiction people think that way. I think that way. I have a graduate degree that includes technology. I am from STEM. People from science, technology, econ, math, astrophysics. Yeah, well, I already covered that in science. You guys know what I mean. We think that way. So make sure you do your science and make sure that you fulfill your intellectual needs, the intellectual needs of your science fiction audience. And science fiction audience is usually people who are university educated or very cerebrally minded. They're very intelligent people. Many are lawyers. Many of them are professors. Many of them, they're educated people. Take care of them. And then I wrote here, just in my parting comment, I absolutely effing hate Kes and Neelix. And I want to ask Neelix, who said we need a cook? Look, like Chicken Man, go away.
Hey, Classic Comics. Good to see you, buddy.
And that's all I have to say about this episode, boss.
Oh, well, there you go. Good to see you, Classic Comics, and everyone. Everyone's rocking. What a rocking chat we got tonight. It's amazing. Mighty Orbots, look at you. Hey there, Mighty Orbots. All right, always great to have old friends popping in. All righty then. Let's see here. What do I got? Well, yeah. Look, I'm trying to process some of what you were saying there. I do like some of the characters. I think this episode does a decent job of setting some of them up. I think the one thing I would probably go the opposite way on is I actually like Paris in this one. I mean, you got to start somewhere, and it's him starting out as kind of angry and having problems. I mean, it was in line with what he was. But someone was mentioning earlier, and this is what I had the same reaction. Let's see, who was it? Yes, something else that puzzles me. This is Scott said this. Why cast Rob McNeil and not have him reprise Nick Locarno?
Exactly.
When I first saw this episode, Scott, because I didn't watch the other shows that much. I was always just an original series guy at that point. I remember watching and just not paying attention. Didn't even hear him call him Tom Paris. I saw him first thing. Oh, he's the guy from that episode where he's that kid, that was with the same actor. That's him. I didn't even realize till later in the episode. I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't see. The thing is, I thought Tom Paris was that character's name because I didn't remember the guy's name being Nick Locarno. I said, oh, maybe it was his name then. Okay, I just didn't think of it because I hadn't seen that episode in years.
Yeah.
I only saw it once probably. So I thought that's a pretty cool idea. And didn't realize till somewhat later. I'm like, no. That was a different dude, different character.
Yeah.
But he is very similar to that. So why
Even
not
his backstory is similar.
Very much so. Why not just make him Nick Locarno? I don't understand why they didn't bother.
I don't know, but in 1995, when I was discussing it with my friends and trying to explain to them that it would wind up being two different characters, everyone was just confused, and you would have endless conversations about why he wasn't Nick. And it's so annoying. And the backstory that they tell for him is so similar. It's just like, what happened there? Like, what's going on?
Parker Luck, good to see you.
Hey, Parker.
I think it should have been. I just think it should have been Nick. Yeah, like you said. But oh well. No, I mean, that's not the end of the world. By the way, Eric K, thank you, buddy, for the super chat. He says, "I'm starting to think Raquel is finding some holes in this story. Not, she never does that. What you talking about?"
Well, I don't mean to be mean or to spoil it for people, but you also have to realize, everyone in the chat, that I have an academic interest in what is happening with Gene Roddenberry. And of course, we have Kate Mulgrew saying some pretty terrible things about how Star Trek has always been, misogynistic and all of these awful things. We have some arguments going down between Michael Piller and Gene Roddenberry before he died. We have some people saying some things, and I do have an undergraduate degree in writing and editing. It's my specialty. And so if you're going to pick on one of my friends, I'm just the kind of nerd who will walk over and I will find your flaws. And I'm not usually harsh on people unless they act like they're better than everyone else. And then I get really harsh. And that's just who I am. And I think it's a good thing to do, because these people are getting above their raisin. They're too big for their britches, and any other cliche you want to throw at it. Michael Piller and Jerry Taylor are supposed to be the caretakers of this show. I hate to recycle the word because it's already in the title, but that's who these people are supposed to be. And an editor has a very specific job. When I'm writing for myself, and I send that to somebody who is going to edit it for me, who's smarter than me, who's better than me, and who's looking out for me. And once you take on that position, yeah. Anyway, I just don't like the things that some folks have said about Gene Roddenberry and about Star Trek. I think it was unnecessary, biting the hand that feeds you and saying things that aren't true. And I also don't like it when people are crowing at the top of the mountain how wonderful they are, and yet a lot of their work is shite. And as somebody who studied this in university, many of these people, they quit school in middle school. They quit school in grade 7 and grade 8, and yet somehow wound up being famous Hollywood writers. Well, I went to university to study writing and editing. So if they're going to pick on my Gene Roddenberry, I got some stuff to say.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Don't blame you one bit. Absolutely. Captain James T. Skywalker, what's up, Kimasabi? Good to see you. Yeah. So, what would be your overall rating of Caretaker?
Well, okay, so here's where I find myself in a bit of a pickle. And that's because the grading system in the United States is much different than it is in Canada, and it's also in flux here in Canada as well, as folks inflate their grades more and more and more. So we're seeing some grade inflation. I'm going to give this episode a C plus, but if it were in Canada, I would give it a B minus. So we're really looking at about 68.5 to 69% out of 100. I really think that there's a lot of good stuff going on here. But remember, my main attack isn't on these marvelous characters who I'm excited to go and hang out with. I love Chakotay. I think the crazy Irish lady who, despite her nasty and awful comments, I still love her. She's my kinswoman. She's from my country, born and bred Irish. I love this new thing we're going to do. Robert Picardo, absolutely thrilled to be hanging out with him again. But this is the pilot made by very specific people who have said and done some things that have kind of cheesed me off as a professional author and a professional editor. And so I'm going to call them on it. So I love the show. I'm very excited to pump its tires and give it the very best grades that I can. But
there you
go. It's a C plus B minus. It's really hovering in there, boss.
I got you. I went ahead with I was toying with a B, but I went B minus. There were some things here and there, but overall, I think it does a decent job of laying the groundwork, which is what the pilot has to do. Has a tougher job, of course. So that's basically what I'll go for on that one. Now, my dear friends, it is that time. I will call upon you to, if you have any words about the episode Caretaker and any rating, of course, please feel free to, shoot those through now. And while number one is collecting those from you, I will bring us a couple of things. First of all, some entertainment from our own great music meister, Maximum Redstone, and then a review from a very special friend of ours, Katie, who could not be with us here tonight, but she loves Voyager. It is her passion. She really, really adores this show very much and couldn't wait for us to get to it, and we're finally there. So I will read her review after, again, as I said, limericks from the great Max Redstone. So shoot those off, get those ready. Everyone will be read. All right. All right. Caretaker by our own music meister, Maximum Redstone. All right. Through the Badlands they've flown to a quadrant unknown. DS9 overlapping, codependent kidnapping, and a chef to serve humans from the Twilight Zone. Oh, a chef. Okay. I'm going to do that again. And then there's another one. Through the Badlands they've flown to quadrant unknown, DS9 overlapping, codependent kidnapping, and a chef to serve humans from the Twilight Zone. Sorry, Max, but I'll do this one normal. Next one, another one for the Caretaker. In the Milky Way's Delta Arm, a godlike caretaker lives on Petridge Farm. The power he'll spew, and he'll probe all the the power he'll spew, and he'll probe all the crew. Is there ever a kidnapper who means no harm? Boom. Sorry I botched those a little bit, buddy, but thank you. Very well done. And now our first review of the evening will be from our very dear friend, Katie, as I lovingly call her, Katie Dax sometimes. She could not be here. She's way across the world. So, Katie, if you're either hearing this later on a rewatch, or if you're out there lurking now, I know it's very, very late where you are. We love you. We appreciate you, Katie. We know how much you love Voyager. So here we go. A review of Caretaker by our wonderful friend Katie. She says, a phenomenal opener to my favorite series in the world. Instead of premiering the first female captain to lead a show as an angry, hardcore, rough and tumble woman, they gave Janeway just enough grace and dignity to shine both as a strong yet sensitive leader. This is very inspiring to someone like me who aspires to have the core values and ambiance that she had. Although Janeway was forced to make a difficult decision to destroy the Caretaker's array, she put Federation values and nobility ahead of her own self to save the Ocampa. As Spock would say, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. The introduction of her crew and Chakotay as the Maquis gave a good balance and rich character basis to build upon. Get Chakotay, the Doctor, Tuvok, not Tuvix, we're not there yet. Tuvok, Neelix, Harry, and Tom are all depicted as diverse men who still carry a strength and are not belittled by the women, just as Janeway, B'Elanna, and Kes are not belittled by them. That's it's a long time ago, not like modern entertainment, Katie? Okay, each are given an even playing field and chemistry to become a united front. Bringing together the crew at the end with Janeway's speech was very special, and the core Star Trek message. Yes, we will explore. Yes, we will seek out new worlds, but we have one objective: to return home. Solid A. Long live Voyager. That's what she says. So thank you, Katie. We appreciate you. That was very sweet and very well done, as always, and very well said. Now, Midnight's Oblivion gives it a B. And that's all he gives it. That's all he says. Thank you, Midnight's Oblivion. The AI show says a C-. One optional title. You got to fake it to caretake it. Gotcha. Unimpressive pilot. The intro of the main character's works, but the raison d'etre of destroying the array is terribly contrived plot writing. Gotcha. See if it's got any more of these. Max Redstone says, all right, 10 plus. Well, C plus. I'd see that number 10 there. I'm like, you got 10 of them, dude? What are you asking? Are you ashing me? Wow, Max. Well, you're worth it, man. You're worth it. First off, the Jerry Goldsmith, I think you mean theme, is the franchise's finest. Agreed. It's not just me being a sucker for French horns. This is a ballad that tells a story. You could even put lyrics to it. And I have, but not in a nice way. Because I'm a jerk, though. But only as a joke. I think it's brilliant. We meet Janeway and Tom Paris, a.k.a. Spurious Maximus. Wow, dude. I do like Quark introducing the Harry and Tom bromance. It would have been better if Ben Sisko briefed Janeway on the Maquis. There should have been a scene like that. I think I agree with you there, Max. I wonder why they didn't do that. They should have. Tom Paris makes a point. Voyager in the Badlands is no bueno. The Defiant would be more appropriate vessel to dispatch. I guess a Caretaker didn't have an appetite for Starfleet probes. Let's see. Hang on. Goodness gracious. 70,000 light years and half the crew dead to get stranded in a Pepperidge Farm commercial. Can't the Caretaker, a.k.a. Scanny McTransporter, find the Ocampa a suitable planet and send them there? Well, don't ask me, but I would say you should be able to, but what do I know?
How dare you think like a science fiction author?
What do you think you are, boy? uppity Max Redstone. The extra energy is only going to maintain the Ocampa for 5 years. It would be a lot less cruel just to finish them off instead of literally sealing them to their fate. And they don't even live long. All right. Instead,
yeah, they do that again. Hey, boss, I absolutely hate that. Live long and toddler. Like we already did that with the Jemadar. I hate the whole live long and toddler.
No, yeah.
Come on,
weird.
man.
It's weird. At least the Jemadar were actually intentionally bred that way. I mean, what is the deal with the Ocampa?
I don't know, but I'm so sick of these writers like
I
thinking that it's amusing that something is a toddler. Why? Why?
Well, they are Hollywood. Instead, he's been treating the symptom, not the disease, and paying credit card interest on his people's debt. The caretaker is more of a codependent. Seriously, 1,000 years and this? Janeway's motivation to protect the Ocampa is correct, but why not try to hold off the Klingon, as I like to call him, Kazon, until they could activate the array and use timers for the tricobalt bombs, as you said, number one.
Or even just any type of weapon set to detonate with a timer. Like, how hard is it?
They should have thought about that. You're right. Tom Paris seems like a ripoff of Nick Locarno, TNG's first duty. Belana Torres seems to be half Karen. Anilix is a greasy Captain O'Connor. Cass is our Delta Quadrant Wesley. Wow. Oh, so I don't think she's Wesley bad. I mean,
she's not Wesley bad.
I don't think she's Wesley annoying. And that's a special annoying you're talking about there, buddy.
TZ Burton is here.
I'm sorry?
Or Z. I should say Z. Sorry, I'm with Americans. TZ Burton.
TZ. Hey, Burton. I'll say
TZ.
I'll say Z for you.
ZZ.
Hello, TZ. Hello, TZ. Welcome, my friend. The luckiest person in this pilot was the classically trained Canadian actress, the lovely and talented Geneviève Bujold. Originally cast as Captain Janeway, she bolted a day to production. True.
Well, I don't think that she bolted. There were several women. I think like 7, and I believe that she was pretty upset with some of the decisions that were being made. But I won't be able to confirm all of that until I have the text in front of me.
Right. Design notes. Did DS9 shrink?
Right?
Way too big. Well, true.
It's way too big.
Way too big. I guess bioneural technology panels are also extra explodey. The bridge design is slightly less lethal than Enterprise D or E. Considering how few people fit aboard that ship, I don't know why they were.
It's so toy like a tiger.
Admiral Teague, thank you for the super chat. He says, "We have time bombs. Why don't they?" Tech below our C+. Thank you so much. Appreciate you there. All right, let's see who is next.
Oh my God, Scuba Pete! I have to put that up on the marquee. Okay, that's going up on the marquee later. Okay. You'll see it later.
Penny says B+. Thank you, Penny. Let's see. All right, let me go back to the top here. Sorry, everyone. We got so many, everybody. I'm trying to get them all organized so I don't mess them up. Wagner says grade D-. Wow.
All right,
I thought some of the ideas in the episode were good, but they were poorly executed. I did not like a single character, and at this point, I don't care if they ever make it back home.
Whoa! Ooh, that's an indictment.
We didn't make a new fan tonight, folks. Well, look, if you can stick around to 7 of 9, you'll have something to look at. I'm kidding. The Kazon are a dumb antagonist, and they have dumb hair. If they have spaceships, then there must be another planet somewhere with water they could go to. Good point. Or even grab a comet and melt the ice in it.
Right?
Yeah, it's silly.
I know, Gwag.
How can they be a threat to Voyager when they can't even freaking make water?
Yeah, it's no.
Our wonderful communications officer, anti-derivative Jill, says B+. I enjoy the mysterious technology of the Caretaker and how it manages to pull in Voyager and scan for life forms to reproduce. Reminds me of a more convoluted UFO. Ah, interesting. Let's see here. I genuinely enjoy the concept of a conflicting force like the Maquis learning to get along with work and work with Starfleet crew, even though this dynamic doesn't last too long. Gotcha. I hear you.
Boss man, I
Yes.
need to interrupt for 2 wags of a puppy's tail. Where's the rest of Wagnar's review? Did you see it or did you miss it? Not that I'm blaming you. There were 76. There were 76
sorry.
entries up there, and there are about 20 more coming.
I only did 2 of his.
Sorry, boss.
How many did I do of his? 2?
I think so.
I found 3.
I'm just
Sorry,
trying
Gwag.
to chase down Fiona's right now.
I got Gwags right here. I thought he only had 2 of them. Now why I'm my eyes are horrible tonight. So sorry.
It's okay, darling.
Sorry,
there are
Gwag.
also like 80 reviews if you put them all together. So don't worry, darling.
Had 2. I know there are 80, 69, 68 right now. We've had well over 80. Same for the Caretaker. Same for the Caretaker. With their level of technology, how about moving the Ocampans to another planet that can support life? Seems like an easier and more beneficial plan for everyone involved. I'm really sorry about that, Gwag. Hang on, let me find your other one. Well, I'll get back to you, Jill. I'm so sorry. I didn't know I missed Gwag. This was the first time I watched this episode since it originally aired. And even if I live to an age of 200, plan on never watching it again. Wow, man, oh man.
Love you, Gwagnar.
That's harsh, buddy.
Gwagnar.
But I hear you. Okay, Jill, I am so sorry about that. I just did not know I missed it. Here's your number 3, Jill. We're going to get you done. Next week when we're doing 4 at a time, I don't think we can have the real long ass once again now. I mean, well, I guess since we only have one episode tonight, it's not so bad. My favorite character is the Doctor. I'm with you there. And some of his development is off to a great start here, which pays off over time as he grows as an artificial intelligence who progressively gains autonomy. Let's see. Whatever happens regarding the illness B'Elanna and Kim were enduring due to the Caretaker kidnapping species to procreate with. We'll see. Whatever happens. Did the moss cure it, or did the Doctor have to do something? I can't remember, to be honest with you. I just watched it the other day. Jill, I can't actually remember. Yikes. That's awful, isn't it?
Actually, I don't remember either, and I watch this every year.
I can't remember. I'm sorry, Jill. Someone here will know. Since the Caretaker ruined normal growth for the Ocampa, interference by Voyager is not a violation. But what is a dereliction is to presume you can't go home and destroy Caretaker at once. Yes. Although I enjoyed the idea of bringing along an alien who understands more of quadrant in retrospect, I'd be just fine had Neelix and Kes decided to adventure in the galaxy alone. You don't like them either, huh? They're not very well liked, are they? I've noticed. The Kazon are a terrible villain species who lack any redeeming personality traits or motivations, and they need to go back to Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, good point. Also, why does Tom not think Native Americans equals changeling? Think Native American equal changeling?
Oh, no. That's something that is a part of Aboriginal culture in North America, and I believe in South America as well.
Gotcha.
It's called, anyway, that's actually a part of culture.
The bioneural systems as a way to upgrade the technology on the Voyager is interesting because of a 2020 Cortical Labs have started merging computer chips with neurons made from human skin cells. Okay. Alrighty then. And then these skin cells are turned into stem cells and then into neurons. I'm not sure about the true potential this will have in actually behaving like a brain, but so far these chips can play Pong. I want to play Pong. I haven't done it forever. I'd like to play Pong right now. Who wouldn't? Bubba Doom says C-, I think. I was more aggravated than anything. You were aggravated. Wow.
Doom, love you, Bubba Doom.
Aggravated. And yet that's a restrained review for a man who's aggravated by it. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Who's next? Shooter says B-. A text scroll with ominous music to introduce sigh the Maquis. Sigh indeed, or choke, or gasp. At least the intro is good. But why does the Intrepid class have moving nacelles? Seems like a gimmick to me. I don't know, Shoot. But I think I understand where you're coming from. I thought we were leaving DS9 behind, but there she is. And we even get a regular cast member, Morn, making an appearance. The story, I see some similarities to DS9's first, only this one is creepier. I hears you. Hang on a second. Got to find your next one there, buddy. Hang on. Righty. Our opening cast of characters isn't as interesting as DS9, but a little more interesting than TNG. We get back to some true exploration with the twist the Voyager is alone and far from home. True. Is it just me, or is the Caretaker an arrogant incompetent with more power than he deserves? Makes one mistake, destroying a world, then proceeds to kidnap people to breed with. Good riddance. Yeah, good point. The Caretaker doesn't care, does he? He's the careless taker. He's a taker. So he's a careless taker is what he is. A serviceable introductory episode. We get an idea about each of the main cast and an adequate reason for the ship to be stranded in the Delta Quadrant. Thank you, Shoot. Let's see where we are. Hang on, everybody. Got so many of these. Sandra Feliciano says, B, Janeway should be court-martialed for stranding them. Well, picking up random aliens without knowing their true motives is dumb. Neelix is annoying and doesn't improve with time. Paris needs to be spanked.
Sandra, this is exactly why I added raspberries and why I said everything that I said in my review. I totally agree. That it's just not right, is it? And it's just preposterous. It's Anyway, it's super, super annoying. I would never bring anyone onto my ship and not know who they are. I would never bring somebody who had been to prison for being a bad person, not just jail, but prison, and make them a part of my bridge crew. I would not immediately integrate the Maquis and recommission them. And it's so crazy. I think that maybe if we would have sat on a couple of episodes and a couple of bad things happened and they were able to prove themselves and we tested their mettle, then we could, make them a part of the team. But yeah, I don't find it realistic at all. But I like hard sci-fi. I do. And I'm a reader, not a film or TV person. But anyway, for what it's worth, I think that's an excellent review, Sandra Feliciano.
Indeed. A little B says Midnight's Oblivion. Okay. All right. Let me see. Got a long way to go, everyone. Bear with me. Everyone became S tonight. I mean, what is wrong with you people? It's one episode. By the way, AI, I don't know how I missed your second one. Maybe you just wrote one on there, but you didn't say that it was one of how many it was going to be. Mm-hmm. You got to do that.
It's also the
So,
fact that the AI show is he's writing here. This isn't prepared. So there was a great deal of lag with his submissions. He's
no, I
writing
understand
in the
that.
chat. He's not copying and pasting, boss.
No, I understand that, but it just says his first one just said 1.
Yeah, yeah.
So I guess
Sorry
that
about
implied
that.
there would be 2. He's right, but I guess I didn't. I'm just going all over the place. I'm flustered. I am so sorry, AI show. But he also said, thus Janeway comes off as a bad captain, willing to make a horrendous decision.
Yeah.
The Doctor is the most incompetent, competent officer. Voyager is therefore an interstellar flying Dutchman. Whoa, there you go.
Yeah,
Sorry about.
the AI
I'm
show,
sorry
like,
again,
it
AI.
doesn't pass the Kirk test, does it? Because, one of the first things I would have done as a captain, or what one of my characters would have done, is my characters would have said, let's get some heavy duty weapons here. Let's put them on a timer. I will stay here and make sure they go off, and that this array is destroyed, so that this caretaker cannot, harm anyone ever again. Although the caretaker's dead, but there is another caretaker, and to prevent, what the caretaker is assuring Janeway will happen with the Kazon. Like, I'll volunteer. I mean, that's what Star Trek truly is. Star Trek is about valor. It's about courageous decisions. It's about being brilliant, being so cerebral that a network is afraid that regular people won't watch it. So I love your review.
Indeedishness. Let's see here. Hang on, everybody. Hang with me. Everyone is S 2.0 tonight. So here we go. The great Eric K says D-. The caretaker instantly brings them to the other side of the galaxy. Why not bring his own people, or have the others who left get more to bring them back? Nucleogenic particles missing. And then you got your next one that says it's also number 1, but one of 6 rather than one of 7.
The chat actually burped, and Eric said, Raquel, I'm so sorry, I had to resubmit. But then when I was trying to figure out which ones he wanted to keep and which ones he wanted to discard, I got mixed up because the chat burped. And also, boss, you need to know that our marvelous friend Cardinal Sin, Cardi, is here.
Hey.
Gil Balville, everybody wave hello to Cardi. Cardi!
Cardinal Sin, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, bro. Hope you're doing well, man. Always great to have you pop in, buddy. Okay, well, we'll just go with this number 2, and then why not terraform it? The caretaker should have been able to do that. Silly and stupid.
Yeah.
Alana is not the sharpest tack in the box. Immediately telling Harry personal info. She is half Klingon. And has trouble with it. She did not even know Harry. She did not even know Harry. WTF? Why didn't the caretaker prepare the Ocampa to survive? Why not make an automated system to take care of them? Why did the Ocampa?
I totally agree, Eric. I'm just going to interject very quickly and say that is so true, because in true science fiction, when you wake up in a room beside someone, the first thing you think of to yourself as a science fiction reader or a science fiction watcher is, is this a part of what's being done to me? Because it's very obvious that you're in a very strange place, and some awful things are happening. So I agree with you.
How did the Ocampa know of the Kazon? How did they find the Ocampa? They scanned it before and saw nothing. Did the sensors remember to work? Why not put timers on and bombs on the array to destroy it?
Me too.
Reason for staying was... Hang on, Eric. Protect the Ocampa. She immediately left afterwards. They should have thrown her in the brig right after that for the duration. She obviously has no idea what she is doing. Why not let the Ocampa know? so they can prepare before you leave. I guess she did not care that much. Cass only lives to 9. So she is what, 3 now? Ew, not a good
Yeah.
start to this show at all. I liked Harry, Tom, Chakotay. Yeah, I like them too. Wow, the quarters are spacious. Why did they have problems defeating the Klingon? It should have. It should have been like WW2 Battleship
Yeah.
defeating a 19th century ship of the line.
Mm-hmm.
True enough.
It's so true, Eric.
Raymond Feliciano says B-. The Maquis trope overused. Kazan. Yeah. I agree with the dime store Klingon. I agree with the dime store Klingon. Janeway, we need to get home. But I'm going to violate the Prime Directive and strand us.
Yep.
Good move overall. Meh.
Yep.
Says Raymond.
I totally agree. Isn't it funny how the two people who are in the military see that instantly? It's because they have the technical know-how to unpack why it's wrong. You get, normies, they're not bothered by this stuff, but people who are more interested in the technical information or are immersed in the technical information because of their livelihood, they see it instantly.
Our wonderful friend Lisa loves it. She says A, better than season 5 through 7 of DS9.
True.
Believable premise of being stuck in the Delta. Characters were interesting enough to want to learn more about. Well, there you go, Lisa. You rock it. You and Katie rock it proud, I say. Let's see here.
Matt G went from Matt. Anti-derivative Jill says Clobby, member chat, Matt G, member 6 months, member for 7 months, Clobberonimal level, went to a planetarium this evening.
Nice. And thank you for that. Wow, thank you for the member chat there. Appreciate it. Everyone has those. Let's see here. Where were I? Okay. Let's say Linrod says B-. Up until the last 10 minutes or so, I found this to be pretty enjoyable. I liked how they introduced everyone and Cass. I'd take her all day long. Woo. Yeah. I'm not going to show any current pictures.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Oh, that was mean. Sorry. But those sunburned Klingons and their water issue made no sense. They need water. They possess warp drive, but can't travel to a planet that's full of water. This is stupid. The stupid is real. Yes, sir. I have to throw in with you on that one, buddy.
And it could have been corrected by saying something like, this part of the galaxy has fewer planets.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't explain why they just can't grab onto something in space.
It's ridiculous.
A comet?
The part that made my head hurt the most was when they had to blow up the station. Couldn't they have just put a timer on the the devices?
Yes.
They could have gone home and destroyed the station.
Yes.
Yeah, they needed to come up with a way better reason if they're going to be stranded.
Yeah.
I feel like the whole premise of the story is that Janeway is either a total moron or she's a massive sadist who actually wants the crew to suffer.
Yeah. It kind of shows that she's not a very intelligent captain. Like she can't, she doesn't have the intellect to move past her next move into 3 more moves ahead and figure out, how to do it the Kirk way. And, with all of her Starfleet training, and like she should be able to figure this out, right? So right off the hop, you think to yourself, oh no, is she a nincompoop?
Yay, I contributed. Says yes, you did, Linrod. Way to go. Kimasabi. JT Kirk says B. Was this science fiction? Question mark. Wait, what? Question mark. I'm just kidding. In Star Trek? A bit too heavy on certain characters like Tom Paris and Baylana. Oh. But
I was making fun of the fact that they changed how they pronounce B'Elanna's name. It starts as Baylana and then eventually grows into B'Elanna.
Got it. But overall, a very strong pilot for a mature IP. Thank you, JT. Well said.
Nice, JT.
Simply Steve says, nope, we don't have D grades since the mid-'80s. Huh?
Oh no, that I thought that was really cool because everyone was talking about. We were all talking
Okay,
about
that's fine.
grading systems.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
All right. Hungry Boy says B minus. Watching the intros of the cast, I liked this for more than I anticipated. This far more than I anticipated. I was quite impressed with Mulgrew as the captain, bearing strength, not liking being called sir or ma'am. Maki aside, the intro of the Doctor was trim, tight, on target, intrigued by Picardo's take on the role. Am I to take it, HB, you've never watched this before? Just let me know. His pro theater actor in him, like pro stage actor in Dr. Smith. Oh, the pain! You bubble-headed booby, silent you ninny. Jonathan Harris was great. The design of the ship was half grand, half waddling duck. Getting past that, we can look at how the characters were basically suffering a Lost in Space type plot, which was a good Kickstarter. The performance of Tuvok deserves a malfunctioning food replicator spewing 100,000 rotating raspberries at him. Caricatured, forced, cartoonish. Don't like Tuvok, huh? Wow.
And HB just put in the chat that this is the first time he's ever watched.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Fresh perspective. There you go. But the way that Janeway is the tough Gaelic tiger mama is welcome. She wasn't sexier up nor uglier down. Had a psychology with range, and we needed that after the final DS9 eps. Good points there.
Also, another thing I like about her, HB, is that she rose through the ranks of Starfleet first as an academic. So she actually achieved being a science officer and then went up through the upper ranks. So this is an educated person, and I do like that that she has that science background. I think it's a terrific choice.
Ravenscroft says, can't in good conscience give a review since I missed the show when it aired. Can only speak on the show from about season 3 or so. For now, I'll listen and occasionally comment. Okay, thank you. That's all. Just glad you're here.
Ben, the Tetrarch of Apathy just walks through the door and he says, "Hail all."
Hey, Tetrarch. Always good to see you. Okie dokie. Let's see here. Classic comics. All right, buddy. CC says, grade C plus.
Okay.
So the entire series is initiated by Janeway making a false binary choice to destroy the array or go.
That's true.
Starfleet personnel are creating elaborate technical solutions to problems all the time. Mm-hmm. They can't place some photon torpedoes rigged with timers on the Afrin array.
Agreed. I can't believe how many people agree with me on that.
Indeed. But you think they would have thought of it writers' rooms don't have writers in them. Then if you need a writer's room, you don't have any writers. Then use it to go home, and then the array blows up, minutes later, problem solved. But if Janeway did that, then no series. So they just blow the array up, and Janeway decides to stay. Yeah, way it goes.
And the thing is that it is sloppy writing, because why not just have it not work? Wouldn't that be cool? Like, you would be anticipating they would go home and you're like, oh, so this is just going to be one of many insane adventures just like this. But then it fails. Tuvok types in the coordinates or the mathematical equation and nothing happens. And they have to disarm the whatever weapons they've left on board the array, and they have to get away from it or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the writing is so bad.
It's a bad mistake. Sloppy writing. The Kazon were never very interesting, just Klingon knockoffs. Also, the potential of the initial premise was never fully realized. Let's see here. The crew are a mixed bag. I enjoyed Tuvok, the Doctor, and Kes, but most became annoying or boring over time. Well, There you go. Not a big fan.
Lenrod says the station should have either had the self-destruct actually work, or the discount Klingoffs blew it up instead. I totally agree.
Fanty outside, he says, C. I didn't like the revisiting of the Pharaoh lad Sun Eater trope. I liked your Legion reference, buddy. Of we cannot create an explosive with a timer. That is from that, by the way. They probably read that comic. The better ending would have been the set chargers activate the array. Then the Kazons get on the array, monkey with the explosives, setting them off while Voyager is in transit, and they wind up only going 5 to 10K light years away back to Earth. So they do all the right things, but still right.
Yeah.
You could have found a
Boss
number.
Man,
Yes.
Abigor just walked through the door. Everyone say hello to Abigor.
All right, Abigor. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Get trapped 65 to 60 light years from the Earth. They made it in the 70s, by the way, so there could be 7-year show. But anyway, just kidding. From Earth. This way, they did everything they could, save the Okama, but didn't make it back. But this way. It's not one or the other option. It is option C is always an option 3 FNI. 3 fin? Okay, dokie. Thank you, Fanty. Hang on. All right. The great enigmatic drop bear says C+. A new spaceship, interesting aliens in a predicament, a Starfleet crew that behave professionally, albeit oddly, and good use of allegory. It's a relief after DS9 to say Star Trek is back. Let's see here. That's the good news. On the other hand, this story was all over the road. The plot existing almost exclusively to justify the show's creation. Pilots are like that, buddy, but yes, I hear you. A pilot needs to justify a show's creation, but the plotting here was so obviously serving that purpose that it detracted from the story. Very good point. It failed to establish a rational premise to build upon. Kidnapped by a dying omnipotent alien and stranded 75,000 light years from home is a great idea to build upon. Unfortunately, some pretty shambolic writing failed to build support for the idea. Interesting indeed. The Caretaker was almost omnipotent and apparently non-corporeal, so how does experimenting on corporeal beings help it? That's a great question. Janeway made some highly questionable decisions. Her odd interpretation of the Prime Directive and allowing herself to be manipulated by Neelix, etc. Before their ship was destroyed, the Kazon said they had sent reinforcements and Voyager was effectively defenseless, so why didn't they press home their advantage and destroy Voyager? I'm afraid I don't know, sir, but that's an outstanding, as always, outstanding review, buddy. Thank you, the great ED. That drop bear. Wolfie says, rating B-. The show intro was amazing. It really is, yeah. One of Goldsmith's best scores. I love it, man. The pacing in this episode is quite slow. I think I would have worked around the 2 crew members stuck on the Ocampa world. Yes. And they call him Scuba. Pete says, B. Aerosmith and Janie's got a gun. Say, Janeway's got a bun. Her whole ship has come undone. You. You rascal. Seriously, though, I so enjoyed getting back on a ship away from that tired DS9 station. Well, there you go. Scuba, I can see that, and I'm right there with you. Scuba Pete also said Janeway went all Oprah. You get a commission. You get a commission.
I believe that is the best comment of the entire evening. I believe Scuba Pete won the internet by putting that up there. That's just, to me, that should turn into a hashtag. That should be an official meme. I love that comment.
Well done indeed. D minus for Sander Hammerslag. Thank you, Sander. Simply Steve said C plus. C plus rating. Alt title. Careless Neelixer. Careless Neelixer, indeed. Janeway was a refreshing change from Kirodo, and Chakotay basically finessed his way to her number one rank. Picardo as the EMH was funny, and Neelix, ugh. I want to find. I know we've heard of Wesley supporters out there, but I've never really met one. Maybe I have, but I don't know if I've ever met a Neelix fan either. And he's no way near as bad as Wesley to me. Not even close.
And JT Kirk had a question for me. I know we're trying to hurry up and get through the show, but he had a grammar question for me.
Yeah,
and he was asking about how you would refer to the Kazon in singular or plural. I'm actually unsure because every time they speak about the Kazon in plural or instead of a singular, they use a determiner. So they always use the. So it seems like whenever it's plural, it's the Kazon. They don't create the sentence with the ability to use the plural. It's like they avoid it on purpose. But it is kind of weird because it's like the Kazon, the Kazon, the Kazon, the Kazon. So yeah. Anyway, I would need to look it up and see what is in the Bible for this show. I actually, to be honest with you, like 100% honest, I've never read the Bible for this show. I don't even know if there is a Bible for this show. So I will definitely check it out and find out for you. And thank you for the question, sweetheart.
Joe Dredd, here comes the judge, says D minus, alternate title, Ancient Jellyfish Abducts, Tortures, and Experiments on Aliens. After the intro scenes, Paris has an ankle monitor in the 24th century, yet there are subcutaneous comms. Yeah, that was kind of silly. The caretaker lives on a rural farm in Kentucky, no mint juleps. The caretaker wave reminds me of the Nexus wave in Generations. Neelix is a hoarder and a glutton, unlikable. Yes, he's just annoying. All right. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, one more. Sorry. Didn't like the hobo hippie discount Klingon Kazons, torturing captive crews, Kim and Torres, and implant them with tumors. Would have liked this episode better if Janeway's dog was on board. Yeah, that would have been true. That would have been great. Yeah. All right.
JT Kirk, I just looked it up. Sorry, I just wanted to get the question answered as soon as possible. So according to Jerry Taylor's writing, it is the Kazons. So it would be like K-A-Z or Z, sorry, America, O-N-S apostrophe.
Is it okay?
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
it's Kazonses. Kazonses.
Kazonses.
And the ruling grammar in English is if something is plural and it ends in S and it's like a name, and then it becomes if it makes the hard Z sound like the Kazonses, in order to not trip people up when they're speaking the name. What they do is they just add an apostrophe so that you can sort of halt the Z sound. So it's Kazonses.
Okay, Steve, Sibley Steve says, and the Kazon ships look too similar to the large landing crafts, the long ones with the downward pointing and in sections seen in the Independence Day mothership. Okie dokie. All right. Fiona. We didn't forget you, my dear. Wait a minute. Sorry, Fiona. I didn't know Joe had one so laying down. I thought he was done. I thought that was all of his. I'm so sorry. I'll be right there, Fiona. Wait, Joe has two more. I guess I don't know how I missed them. So sorry, Fiona. You're next, I promise. Neelix's phaser punctured the water tank with precision and yet opened the hole in the tunnel to escape and be beamed up. We find out the caretaker is a giant sentient jellyfish whose partner left him all alone, then dies. Voyager can't leave the remote detonated torpedoes after getting the magic waves back to the Alpha Quadrant. I still hate Kes. Still hate Kes. Okay, you hate Kes. Gotcha. Thank you, Joe. Not a Kes fan. Now, Fiona's got a masterpiece right here, I'm thinking. So let's get that one out for you. Okay. Fiona says, this was one of the dumbest, most idiotic, ridiculously contrived episodes of television I have ever seen in my life. Wow, that's a bold statement there. Well done. They decided what the premise of the show was going to be, and they hastily cobbled together reasons to get them there that made no sense whatsoever. Let's see. There's so many premises here that are just garbage that the only way I was able to continue watching the show was to completely divorce it from Star Trek. Wow. Interesting. To me, this wasn't always. To me, this was and always will be a generic science fiction show similar to Lost in Space. This is a continuation of the non-Trek filth that was Deep Space Nine. Oh wow. Let's see. Interesting indeed, Fiona. I had to watch the show as space fantasy rather than science fiction. The Voyager's maximum speed can have it crossing the galaxy in 2 years. 15. Whoa, I thought you were kidding. It would take too many okay pages to list all of the contrivances that made this plot fall apart for me. Many of them have been brought up by Raquel and others.
Boss man, I just want to
Yes.
interject very quickly just to say that my friend Crease is here. Everybody say hello to Crease.
Hey, Crease,
I'm so happy you're here, sweetheart.
Yes. Always great to see you, Crease. Hope you're doing well tonight. Okay. Let's see here. Where are we at? As a pilot, this was an absolute fail for me, and if it didn't have the Star Trek name on it, I'm sure it would not have lasted a season. The show got better, but we are talking about this episode, so I won't go too far forward. The Maquis are ridiculous. Absolutely. The Caretaker setup is absurd, given the technology and other solutions that they could have come up with. The Kmart Klingons were super annoying. Yes, I can't stand the Kazon. I really couldn't either. And the basketball-sized suppository of a contrivance that left them stranded made me lose my hair. This is Star Trek in name only for brain damaged people. Well, some people like it. I mean, that's harsh there. You're harsh.
I'm going to interject and let everyone in the chat know that I am going to find the Voyager Bible, and I will get all of your singular, plural, and possessives for the Kazon, I promise. And I will get it from a legit source, I promise.
Yep, and just always bear in mind, everyone, all opinions are welcome here. So Fiona is very entitled to that opinion, and so at least if you have a problem with it, hey, her opinions are not only welcome here, we appreciate hers and everyone's. So, as a pilot, you're supposed to put your best foot forward. This is what is going to grab people and suck them into watching the show. This was an absolute mess as an incoherent story. Let's see here. I notice most of the reviews are like, I like this part and this this part and this part, and that's exactly what we have here, a collection of non-related parts trying to substitute for a genuine story. It took me a long time to watch the second episode. I will bring that up I'll bring that up at the time. For this, I would go F-, except I need it to save something for the slug, so I'm just going to F. Well, thank you, Fiona. I love it. You did great as always. Appreciate you. Eric K., thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. He says, Janeway is so dumb that she would lose at tic-tac-toe. Whoa. Cardinal Sin said, I skipped the entire first season for my rewatch of Voyager because I detest the Kazon so much. They're a ridiculous, antagonistic race who don't even know the basis of war field theory. Now they're all over. They're not just in the first season, aren't they? They're way beyond that too, aren't they? Clobby has a mini Neelix shrine next to Wesley. I thought we agreed to keep that a secret. Oh well, there. Secret going now. Max Redstone, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, knock, knock. Who's there? Qualified Star Trek writers. Qualified Star Trek writers who? Yep. There's your problem. Whoa, Max, nailing it. Okay. Let's see up in here. Rob Altus, good to see you there, buddy. He says, as annoying as Neelix could be, he was nowhere near as annoying as Pike cooking everything in strangled nude worms filth. Well, that's filth, so it's not even Star Trek. And don't get me started on Spec. Well, again, I hear you, dude, but that's not real Trek anyway. So, but you're right, of course. Sean Carter from Mars says C+ for me. It did its job, set the stage, and gave us an okay launching point for the characters. The story itself was just serviceable. It was apparent that the writers didn't put much thought beyond we need a way to get the characters into this place and left it at that. It's not offensive, and I suppose that's good enough coming off DS9. Wow. Addendum from Sean. One of two addendums. Is another one coming? Looking back now, I can appreciate the intention the writers had in having Janeway make that choice. They showed from the get-go that she could fail. If done today, she'd be a Mary Sue. Oh, yeah, there's no question about it. Crease, thank you, Crease. He says, useless trivia time. Being aired on Premium Canal Plus here. Season 1, Episode 4 of Voyager was the only Trek that got the dubbing treatment in Poland. It featured some of big actor names and guest roles. I hate dubbing. Wow, that's crazy. Thank you for the super chat. Blunt Philly Reviews. You were too kind. He says, we all having a good time tonight? I hope so. We are indeed, and all because of you all being here. You're making it fantastic like you always do. I really appreciate you. It's just what a great group you all are. Are they not amazing?
Well, Clobby, I'm looking through the show Bible and it doesn't say anything. This is like probably one of the worst show Bibles I've ever seen. But I'm not going to trust that source on that Kazon's is. I'm going to go and try and see if it's Kazon as far as plural goes. So it's Kazon, the Kazon, and then what if it's like a group of Kazon and it's something they have? Then it would be Kazon's is.
Did Wolfie send that to you, or who sent it to you?
No, I just got it off of the Star Trek site.
Because Wolfie sent it to me, and he wanted me to send it to you. I got to figure out how though.
No, I've got it right here.
Okay,
it's just I just want to let everyone know that I highly suspect that source, and I'm going to try and find some other sources and get this figured out for everyone. But yeah, weird. Anyway, sorry.
That's cool. All right, so let's see here. I guess we're done with the episode.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm 100%.
There's Michael Beacom here.
Hey, Michael Beacom.
Tell me I had to dip out while rocking grandbaby to sleep. What did I see? The tome to be used. What did I see? The tome to be used.
Oh yeah.
Star Trek Voyager Celebration. What's wrong? We need to use Star Trek Voyager Companion. It's this here.
I don't. Well, I don't know because the companion. That is the only one that actually behaves as the companion. Yes. No. Let me look at it for a minute. An antiderivative Jill says, yeah, I always thought the plural for Kazon was Kazon, but the idea to add prefixes is cracking me up. Prefixes, suffixes, you can add whatever you want to the Kazon, but yeah, it should just be Kazon, right? But it's like one of those things like a lot of people think that elk and elks, they think the plural of elk is just elk. But it can also be elks. It's both are correct technically in grammar, but people are just used to hearing elk, right? Or is it goose and geese? Or but with the K's on, you like I don't know, like especially because it's a made up language. It's made up grammar. Look at Kira Nerys Kira. I don't know. I'll look it up. I'll go and do an investigation. But I think it's Kazon, Kazons, Kazons.
I'm tracking your review down now, Mr. Angel. I did not know you did one. I'm starting them now, buddy. Hang on.
Oh, I thought we were done with reviews. My goodness, we had over 90.
I know. Well, they popped one in. It's got 7 of them. I'm getting them now. I backtracked to it. They just told me in the chat while you were doing that, so I didn't know.
Oh, thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
I'm not. See, this is why I don't Google. This is why Clubby and I always rely on our memories when we're talking to you guys. Because if you leave to go and Google stuff, or DuckDuckGo things or Brave things, you lose track of the most important thing, which is you marvelous people. But I'm trying to track down that information, and I promise I'll get it for you. I promise I will.
All right. Well, we got one more review, everybody. So we got Mr. Angel. Let me see. Hang on a second. Let me get to that. All right, everybody. First of all, I got a super chat from JT Kirk. Thank you, man. He said, appreciate that, but it's just the Kazonsies or whatever aren't Kmart Klingons, but rather Publix Packleds. Also, I get my crew home and in the array. I don't believe in the no-win scenario. Yes, sir. Ray Bobcat. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All righty.
And Mr. Right. Angel is getting to the heart of my concern because it's kind of weird. But yeah, Mr. Angel said in a sane world, it would be one Kazon, and a race of Kazon would be, or the race, the Kazonians. And that's what I was sort of searching around for to find out if that existed or not. But I'm pretty sure it's Kazon, Kazons, and Kazon says. So singular, plural, possessive. A plural possessive. So, oh my God.
Guess who's here?
Who?
Monkey Jeebus.
Monkey Jeebus.
What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
Corrector of his background extras.
No, right. Let us do this review. The new zoo review is coming right at you from Mr. Angel. All right, Mr. Angel says F. Whoa. He loved it. Just had to leave my opinion of Voyager. Caretaker is the worst opening in Star Trek history. Oh, wow. And Janeway is the most annoying passive-aggressive captain in Starfleet history. Wow. Mr. Angel. Why I hate Voyager so much. Well, most of its characters are forgettable. Janeway, passive-aggressive dictator. Tuvok, standard by the book officer. Torres, okay, we get you're an angry hothead. Okay. Chakotay only uses cultural excuses when it suits him. Excuses when it suits him. Okay, gotcha. Tom Paris, bad boy, wannabe, playing an insufferable good guy. Tess, a very obvious Eloy clone from H.G. Wells. True. Giving her a short lifespan is
merciful.
The most stupid writer decision ever. Immediately writing yourself into a corner. Yep. The Caretaker. What caretaking? He does absolutely nada, nothing, just dumb. The villains in the show, shadow copies. Wow. You and Fiona are definitely on the same page on this one. I don't blame you one bit. I have no argument with you at all. Of better originals. The plot of this opening episode is beyond stupid. The premise of water shortage, insane. Hydrogen and oxygen are abundant in the universe. A benevolent alien guardian, right? Yeah. in my opinion, only 3 real characters in the whole show: Neelix, Seven of Nine, and the Doctor. Only ones who are not carbon copies and have real character arc. Interesting indeed. I'm with you on 2 of those. The most annoying for me was the absolute meaning nothing techno babble in the series. I despise it. I watched for Neelix and Seven of Nine. Rest I didn't care for then, now, or in the future. Wow, buddy. Yeah, it's hammering in there, man. We love it. I love it. I love all opinions here. Sean Carter with a $2 super chat. Thank you, buddy, for the super chat. He says, I before E, except after Kazon.
Nice. Yeah, but you never know with these stupid. I was never with all these stupid user generated sites and all this crap, and it's always suspect the information. But one that I've always hated was Betazoid, Beta Z, and what is so what if yeah. Anyways, I've just always thought I'm like Mr. Angel, just make it Beta Zedian or Beta Zite, but just give us that proper suffix so that it seems a little bit more natural, right? Kazonian sounds good to me. Yeah, it's just, yeah, shin kicks. Think your crap through. Build a world. What's your problem, man?
Eric K says, Cass is these Hollywood writers' dream. I see what you did there. Wow. Fiona, thank you for the super chat. You appreciate you. You're too kind. She says, it was meant to be Trek by brain damaged people. That's okay. Well, I happen to be a brain damaged person, and I'm not, and I think it's hilarious that you said that. As someone with brain damage, I'll tell you, I mean, I'm definitely getting. I know it's true. That's not even a joke. I really do have brain damage. It's really brain damage, but I enjoy calling it brain damage. If you're gonna have brain damage, you should get some enjoyment out of it, right? I mean, that's life. So I'm sorry if anyone took offense. Oh no, no. I never insult, blame anyone. I never insult, blame anyone for liking something bad, only making it. No, look, don't. Yeah, she's apologizing because I think maybe you thought I was going after you about that, Fiona. If you did, I'm so sorry, dear. No, I was just simply saying that when you said that, I didn't want anyone else to interpret that you were saying that because I know what you were saying. You just thought it sucks. And you can say that all day long around
sometimes here. When you're a super passionate Star Trek fan, especially like an OG, like original gangsta, TOS fan, you can be quite passionate, especially because you're trying to convey your emotions in text. So, just ride that wave and we're here for it. Do your thing.
I say stuff like that all the time, Fiona, and I always do come with the caveat, hey, look, but if you like it, hey, don't take it. So, no, that's all I was doing. I mean, I wasn't trying to damage control you there. I was just letting everyone know that, especially when it's something like this episode where we've had people loving it, giving it A's, other people hating it, giving it F's. I just throwing it out there today. We're all friends here. We all disagree. Fiona, I hope you didn't think I was in any way thinking anyone was taking offense by that at all. And not even me, I actually am Dane damaged. People like that think I'm joking. I'm not. It's true. So I'm proud of it. Michael Beacom. Thank you, buddy. You're too kind. He says, the correct book we should use is Star Trek Voyager Companion by Paul Rudditz. It is patterned after the DS9 when the celebration is just self-congratulatory puff pieces. Gotcha.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, like it's not available in my country. I can't get that. There's no way to get that. I originally tried to get it and to review it, and then also it was mixed up with a technical manual. Do you have an ISBN?
I'll say something to Fiona real quick. I see. Fiona, that's because you were a sweet and wonderful person, and you're friends with that buddy. You said you were mortified. You did inadvertently. I don't think you called anybody that, but yeah. But look, hey, it's cool. And in this chat, we're all friends, so we can call each other names all the time. Especially Eric K. You wouldn't believe the names I call him behind the scenes. Just kidding. Oh, Eric K's pretty mean to me, though. I got to tell you.
Yeah, this book has been out of print since 2003. It's not available anywhere. And I don't think that it's going to have lots of PDFs, illegal PDFs,
Which one now? Oh.
like the DS9 one. The Star Trek Voyager Companion, I was looking at that one, but I mean, you can't get it anywhere. It's so rare. It's like super, super expensive. And I actually can't get it here. So there's no one that will even sell it here because no one here even has it. So that's the problem with the Voyager is it doesn't have quite as much coverage, right? But I have heard good things about the 2020 book, and the thing is I don't know what they're like until I read them. So that's usually how I vet things. I read them, and I'm not magical. I can't see through pages. So yeah. Anyway,
hey, that's cool. Hey, who's up for a bonus Max Redstone Limerick? Who wants one? Raise your hands.
Yeah, and once again, like I hate it when this happens. It makes me absolutely mental when people on the US side of the border go to their Amazon.com, they type something in and it's readily available and cheap to them. They just don't understand. It's like the UFO book. You know, the UFO book, somebody on Thursday night found the UFO book for $100 in the United States. On the Amazon.ca side of the border, where people will actually deliver to me, because a lot of people on the Amazon.com side of the border won't deliver internationally. On the Amazon.ca side of this border, that UFO book is $848.88. So typing stuff into the chat about Amazon.com does not help me at all, folks. I need an ISBN and somebody who would be willing to sell it in Canada.
DJ Ronnie G.
Thanks, Jill.
Good to see you. Oh, there you go, Jill.
Yeah, she got the ISBN for me.
There they go. They're raising their hands. So you think we should give them another Max Redstone limit?
Yes, do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm eating a stuck a pretzel. Sorry, but after I get to it, I was hungry. Sorry. All right. Are you okay? Number one, I know you're aggravated by that thing there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm fine, sweetheart. I'm just trying to look for it.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, let us have some a bonus Max Redstone limericks, folks. There we go. Okay. Captain Janeway is not from Nantucket, and the Voyager is not a rust bucket. Yet Rick Berman said, "My career cannot be dead. Star Trek is my teat. I must suck it."
Gross.
Max, you scoundrel. Oh, nice one, duder. Oh, what happened? I took you off of there. I'm sorry. There you are, number one. I wasn't even looking. Damn it, I hate this stupid thing. There, she's here, folks. She wasn't hiding. It was me being an idiot. I'm sorry, Lisa. I had to grab a pretzel. I'm dying over here. I shouldn't have. It's those little bitty ones.
Yeah, you guys, I don't know if I'm gonna order this book or not. You know what I mean?
One,
It's
Voyager?
it's $136 without delivery and without import fees, and that's in American dollars. So I don't know.
No. Don't do
I don't
that.
know if I want to own a $250 Voyager book.
No.
If one of you wants to buy it for me on that side of the border and send it to me, I'd be happy to do it. But I already paid $40 for the other book.
How much is that one over here?
I don't know how much it is in your country.
We'll have to look at it later. We'll look for it later. All right, Ravenscroft. Lovely to see you. Thank you for being here.
Night, Ravenscroft.
Have a good one.
Thanks for being here.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, anti-derivative Jill, that's why I always talk about this on the Clubhouse. It's so cool being around American culture and how things are readily available in the US.
Indeedishness. Well, We'll get it for you somehow. Who knows? Maybe that will be easy to find. Maybe maybe that would be one that was easier to find at bookstores and stuff.
I hope so. Well, no, it's been out of print for a very long time.
Used.
It's been out of print for 20 years.
Oh yeah, but I mean like a used bookstore or something.
Yeah, a used bookstore would be totally cool, but I don't think that this could be found at a used bookstore here.
Remember I got that
Oh, you're on your side of the border? Absolutely.
Yeah.
On my side of the border, I don't.
Oh no, yeah, maybe not. Yeah. I got you. Well, I'm sorry. Damn it.
Crap,
and crappy indeedy. Crappity crap.
Crappity crap. Yeah, and it's funny because I was looking at this book before the other one, but I just can't get it here. Let me see if I log on to.
JT Kirk says, thank you for the super chat, by the way, buddy. He says, Strangled Nude Worm said, Canada doesn't exist in the future, but TNG says, Canada
Did you
does
see
exist.
that?
It's as if Canada existed, but it never existed. Yes. What
Did you hear about that in the filth? They got rid of Canada.
Since when? I've watched that trash and I didn't see him get rid of it. What happened?
Somebody sent me a video. I think it was JT Kirk's, and they actually did away with Canada.
Well, I saw an episode that took place in 21st century Canada. So is he saying they mentioned later that there's no Canada?
Yeah.
And that mean like in the future?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. What are you talking about? Who sent you that, JT?
Mm-hmm. I think so. And now I'm already confused because I'm looking here. Oh my God. In the United States, you guys, like the people who will send to the United States, it says you can get the paperback from $29.50, and Americans can get a collectible edition of it for only $59. Oh my God.
Huh.
Why is America so cool and Canada sucks?
I will look into it. I will look into it. Oh man, that's crazy, isn't it? Now, which book is it we're talking about against this one we keep showing pictures of?
Jill sent the ISBN so that I could check it to make sure. So she sent me the ISBN 10 and the ISBN 13. What is the exact name of the book, Fiona?
Yeah, okay.
It is Star Trek Voyager Companion. And it was published on May 20th, 2003. It's by Paul Ruditis, and it's the ISBN 10 is 0743417518.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so that's the one. Wowzer, $25.
Like, it's just so different, you know what I mean? Starting bid on my side of Amazon is $136, and what did I say? 14 cents? Thanks, man.
See what Max said?
What?
Said he just ordered it. He'll get it 25th. He said he'll PDF it to you.
Oh, but that's illegal. Don't say that.
What? You can PDF your own book, can't you?
Nope.
Okay, then he won't do it.
You're not doing that, Max. But I love you, Max. Well, I'll see what I can do. I can also see if it's on Abe's books. I didn't, to be honest with you, I didn't check Abe's books.
You're not doing that. Everybody's not doing that. But I'll tell you what, if I ever see that Mark's D with a C scumbag again, I'll go, oh, hey, man, what's up? I didn't see you there.
Hey, no more cracks about the book.
I knew you were going to say that the minute you walked through the door. Okay, hold on.
Hail to everyone. Hail to the chat. Yeah, I've been lurking a little bit.
How are you?
Hey,
how's it going, everyone?
Oh, I don't get to call it that on you.
No, you can't. Please do not ever, Clobbering Times, ever call me Cutie Patootie.
I'm never going to call Mark Cutie Patootie. I just got caught up in the moment because she did.
Yeah,
sorry.
You guys, it's not even on Abe's books. How is this not even on Abe's books? All it is a bunch of stupid romance soft covers that are like $2 each, and they have like all these soft faces. And you just imagine them all bumping uglies instead of actually going on adventures.
Who?
There is not a single copy of Star Trek Voyager Companion, the companion or companion book on Abe's books. Not a single copy.
Wow. Dang it. With
Damn it,
25
Mark.
Well, I did get the new book, the 2020, and I've been kind of lurking for a while, but I'm getting ready for scout camp, and we had my son's graduation party today. So it was, you know how when you have a big party, you know, it takes a lot out of you when you have a lot of people over. So,
Woo,
but
woo,
not the
woo.
sidetrack. But I have been listening. But yeah, the new book is actually really nice. The only thing is they don't have synopsises for every episode. Well, they've got like a paragraph synopsis, but it does go into nice detail. I've just skimmed it. Pictures and graphics are great. The looks of the ship, you know, the takes on the ships. On surface, it looks like a really, really well done book. But then when you get to the rest of the episodes, they just have a literal paragraph. So if anyone out there remembers the old-fashioned Star Trek compendium, the red book or the black book or the
I had the blue
one. You had the blue. Yeah, that was like that was my Bible as a kid, and at least they had, you know, half a page on each episode. So that's the one thing that's lacking about this 2020 book, as nice as it seems, is the other episodes get very, very short thrift. So that's the only problem with it. But they do have a great.
I'd much rather have this book. This was the one that I originally chose, but it's too rich for my blood, everyone. This is crazy. Like, this one is saying that they'll ship one to me from the United Kingdom, but the bids start at $118.57 US dollars. That's a lot of money for me, you guys.
It's on Abe's. Did you find it on there, like Fiona's talking
I
about?
did find it on Abe's, but just so
thank you,
know,
Fiona.
it would be coming from the UK, and the person wants US dollars. I don't know why.
Oh shit.
$118.57.
Oh, no.
Now that you're talking the 2002 book, the compendium.
It's a 2000 I guess
2003 like or something.
It's 2003.
Okay. So has anyone in the chat seen that book or read that book or?
Well, Michael Beacon's saying it's the book that we should use instead of using the
2021.
Yeah.
But I just bought that one. Just kidding. No, it is a very beautiful. It is a nice book to look. I mean, and I got it for $9 US on Amazon used. So
you see what Mr. Angel's saying?
I have found plenty of second hands of that book between 25 and 50 euros. Do you want me to pick one up? Tell me now. Oh my goodness, I can't ask you to do that. Please don't do that.
That'd be quite a hefty bundle to ship that there, Chef, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it wouldn't even be worth the amount of the book. That's the thing, right? Like, I was going to buy some comics.
Right. Mark told Canada, me to buy, that'd be crazy, right?
Yeah, and you also have to pay an import fee. But the worst thing is like a few weeks ago, Mark found me a collection of comics on eBay. The comics were $50 to buy, and to ship it here, it was like $67 American, and that didn't even include the import fees that I had to pay for it. So the shipping it here actually costs more than the comics. Anyway.
Do you live in the Delta Quadrant? I mean, maybe get a wormhole
to
get a wormhole to get that to you.
Yeah. I just don't think that people realize it, Mark. It's like, do you remember when we first met? And you were like,
I'm like, no way, inconceivable.
Right, and then it happened to you, and you were like, yes, way, what the hell is going on here?
What's going on?
One time I sent Mark these gourmet butter tarts that are originated in Canada, and they're gourmet and they're quite expensive and they're very delicious. I bought Mark the individually wrapped ones so that they would get through customs and they wouldn't stop them at customs and say that, that he was illegally importing food. So they were individually wrapped. I sent them to him in a box, and I believe I paid like $47 or $48 or something like that to deliver butter tarts to Mark.
I feel so guilty. I should have eaten them a little bit slower. They were so darn good. Sorry. That was so nice of you to do.
No, I would do it again in a heartbeat, especially because you and your family love them. Yeah, Max Redstone. Now
you think I actually shared them?
Michael Bickham has the book.
Yeah.
But hey, Chef, we appreciate that though. We really, really do. Like I said, it would cost so much to ship, probably, buddy.
It's nuts.
I imagine. I mean, like at least to Canada, it would be.
I think Max just looked it up, and he just said USPS ship alone.
58.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. My husband returned something from Amazon last weekend. I thought it was going to cost between $40 and $50, and I was really upset with that. And then he came home, it was $67.
Oh. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah. Anyway, it's sad
That
because
suckles.
I would love to have this book. This is the book that I first picked out. Mark and I even talked about this book.
Wow. 10 magazines and it costs you $43. Jesus.
I
Wow,
sent 10
Fiona.
magazines to a friend in Vancouver. It cost me $43. Yes, exactly, Fiona. And it's insane. And what's
Nuts.
worse is if you don't mark it as like a present or whatever, or if you don't like mark it as used or whatever, they'll think that you bought it. So then they'll assign an import fee to it because you purchased it from across the border. So that's even worse. So you can buy, like, let's say you buy $50 worth of comics and the US person wants, like, let's say $67 to deliver it. And then when it gets here, the UPS driver walks up with a little thing and says to you, or Purelator or whoever, although I don't think you guys know what Purelator is, but they'll walk up to you and they'll be like, I'm sorry, there's $28 owing on this for import fee. And you're like, oh my God. Because then it's like 67 plus 28 if the original item was only $50. Anyway.
Dang it. All this enabling, and it wasn't even Mark's fault.
Yep, right. Wasn't my fault. Yep. Not my bad.
No.
Bad,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's very special
if you time.
It's very special if you get a gift from a Canadian, because they paid through the nose for it, and that they absolutely love you. If you've ever received anything from a Canadian, you're loved.
Right.
There you go. The magnificent Feringier planning a smuggling mission. We're going to Purelator.
Purelator Courier. It's funny.
If a Canadian would send it from within Canada to you, would that be cheap? I have a friend who returns to Canada in 8 weeks. He could take it with him there.
Ooh.
Now that's certainly cheaper, depending on where he is. But anywhere in Canada is cheap. For example, if I'm living in, like, on the other side of Canada from you, it's still like normal, not too expensive, right? Normal, like, to ship you something or what?
I have no idea what.
I'm sure you order stuff inside of Canada. I mean, it's like
that's not as expensive. Yeah,
I do.
Canada to Canada.
I do, but at the same time, I feel so horrible about asking people to buy me things.
No, I'm not saying that. He was just asking, is it cheaper?
I'm not quite sure, because things have gone up so much here. I don't know, folks. I actually don't know, and you guys know what I'm like. I'm not going to say something unless I know.
Yeah.
Well, it's got to be cheaper to ship within Canada. It's just it's going across, because I ship to Canada for my work, and then usually what I do now is I say, if you want to buy one of our machines, you have to use a broker, use a shipping broker. Of course, these are it's more expensive machines. It's not just a book, and then you go through the broker, and then they handle everything. So, but the buyer is paying for it, but it's it's a little bit different when you're buying a small book or a lower priced item. But it's a hassle when I've done it before to try to ship to Canada and fill out all these forms and paperwork and tariffs, and even with NAFTA, it's just it's like the Delta Quadrant basically.
Yeah, and don't forget that you have to make your declaration, right? Like when I sent you the butter tarts, they're like,
gotta fill it out. Yeah,
are you trying to do this, or what are you sending?
I don't want to leave him hanging, Mr. Angel. I mean, he said he could pick it up tomorrow, but we don't want to put you out like that. I mean,
I'm not comfortable asking people to spend money on me. I'm just not. I'm sorry, folks. I'm just not. I think it's incredible.
But it's also very much appreciated. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely incredible and wonderful and beautiful that you are such a wonderful and loyal friend. But I can't ask you to do that.
But it's not unappreciated, my friend, believe me.
Yeah, I think it's the most incredible thing ever. If you're ever in Canada, I'm going to buy you lunch in Banff just for that marvelous offer. It's very sweet. Oh, now I have to find some.
So it's just a bloody book. He doesn't have to pay import fees for a secondhand book, he says. Like I said, that It's not my call. It's yours and Mr. Angel's. But
Ooh, I don't want to ask friends to buy me things. I feel so bad.
like I said, you'd have to that Mr. Angel. She's not going to say yes. She's not going to have. She cannot. She doesn't want to feel like she's asking you, and I'm the same exact way. But if you want to do it, I mean that's strictly your call.
Look at all these people saying they're going to do a road trip to Canada. This is. I will meet you. I will meet you. We'll have a party. We'll go somewhere. Do you want to meet in Vulcan? We can meet in Vulcan.
Yes, I'll steal the Enterprise.
You would steal the Enterprise from me?
No, I would. I'd definitely steal the Enterprise for you.
Maybe I'd steal the Enterprise for you too.
Do we have to go to Genesis, or can we go like to Risa or something?
Yeah, no, let's go to Risa.
I want to go to Risa.
Yeah, let's go to Risa. We'll lie on the beach and just
or how about Berengarius 7? They have dragons.
Oh, darn it. So I made the call on that book, and now are we going to have to get this book now? Pooh.
The other one's just a bunch of pictures from what everyone's saying. So.
Is that what everyone's saying?
Well, no. I mean, it's.
I read all the reviews, you guys. I read like over 50 reviews of it.
The new one's pretty nice.
Yeah, okay. No
Did you get yours already, Mark?
Yeah, of course I got mine. I live in the Alpha Quadrant.
There's no filth in there, right?
No.
Oh, that's
you want me to
shocking.
show some pictures? I can show a few pictures.
You can. Before you do that, Wolfie, because Wolfie had something for us here, and it's ship time with Wolfie, folks.
Ooh,
he's always got cool stuff
Wolfie.
for us. Hang on a second.
Oh, one of the copies just sold off of Abe's books. Well, good for you. $83.58 is a lot of money. I'm glad you got that copy.
Here we are. Okay. Let me bop. Got some ships to see. Here we go. All right. So our resident ship expert extraordinaire Wolfie has sent a picture of a little Saturday Night Star Trek new ship size chart. There's the Intrepid class ship, and look how much bigger it is than the Constitution class ship. But it's only got a crew of 180 something or whatever, right?
Yeah, it's a very big ship, and the volume I think is huge.
Why does it have so few people?
It's dumb.
Well, because they have holograms. They don't need as many people.
It's dumb, and it was also way too big up against the S9.
I don't think it should be as big as I don't think it should be that big against a Galaxy class ship or an Excelsior class ship. I think it should be closer to in length, maybe to like the Miranda class or something.
Because now I feel dumb that I spent $40 on this stupid book.
But that's not the writers. That's from the show Bible and from the producers.
What stupid book now?
Nothing.
No, but I mean that's not, that their book is just reporting what the official the modelers have come up with, and the show Bible.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
No, I'm complaining about the other book that I bought, Mark.
The USS Clobby. The USS Clobby, I've decided would be a Constitution class ship. I mean, I'm sorry, I got to have it that way. Mr. Angel says, my Dutch Israeli blood is famous for being incredibly stubborn. Indeed. We got you covered, buddy. All right, so this is a picture. Wolfie, is that Michael Okuda? No?
It is.
Yeah, that's
Michael Okuda, I believe.
Working on a set of Voyager. Okay.
That's not Jane or Jine. That's got to be
Voyager ship ends up growing on you after a while. I like the ship. I mean, I know the nacelles. I think they explain something. It's been so long since I read about this, but I think it's something to do with the warp signature, something like that. But it does grow on you. And maybe it's a gimmick, but at least it's not like the new junk where they had detached nacelles. They said it was for maneuverability. The poor guys on track
Oh my
yards. Are
gosh, so dumb.
detached. And then the modelers are like, how are we going to make a model of this ship? I'm like, why would you? It's so damn ugly. But then and they had a new version of the Voyager. And it was just so ugly. And then detached nacelles. It's like, how does that make sense?
Thanks, Wolfie. And there's one more. But that was other one was Okuda. Now here's the what is this one?
I love seeing those old models. It's just so gorgeous, the old model work.
This is not. Is this what is this here?
That's the that's the original version of Voyager. Yep, the prototype. Which and then they went back and they said make it less angular, and then they flipped the nacelles. But I don't like the front. I kind of like the back though. I have to say, like
concept
Miranda
model.
class look. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it. I think
the front is not good. I like the tail.
Yeah, I mean, I actually kind of like this because it's got normal nacelles. I actually almost I might have warmed up to this. I like Voyager fine because it's got. I'm starting to like this one. It took me a while. I liked the other one better. Now I don't know. Maybe I'm never that big fond of that big needle nose thing though that it has. That either one this or the other one has.
Yeah.
I like just a round saucer section really, but I like some aspects of it. I kind of like those nacelles. Maybe it's just me, but yeah.
And don't forget, the Voyager ship can land on a planet.
Yes.
So they also show, that's no spoiler alert. Well, that's not a big spoiler, but
no,
someone in Miami is selling this book for $190. What?
Yowzer.
Shin kicks.
Well, pricing it maybe. Are they selling it? Maybe another story.
Yeah, like how long have they been selling it for?
Yeah, as number 6 said, how's business? As when it sees a high price, how's business? Yeah, so look, I have an old saying when I go to comic shops and see ridiculously priced comic. Well, that's price to keep. It's staying on.
Keep, yeah.
Yeah, right.
I can walk in. I can do this at any comic shop. We can walk in. You give me 5 minutes to look at the stuff on the wall. I can tell you, well, this guy doesn't know how to grade and he doesn't know how to price anything. And that stuff's been up there forever because he can't. I mean, he's, I call it price to keep.
Does anybody here have the Federation book with the interactive voiceover stand? Does anyone here have that?
That big blue book?
Yeah.
You got a picture of it?
I saw it over at Ron's house, and the guy who drew the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for television, he's a friend of mine. I saw it over at his house, and I almost died.
What's it? What's the name of it? That sounds.
I forget. It's like I couldn't even believe it was real.
Is like the anniversary of the Federation or some kind of thing.
Yeah. And it has a voiceover, and you open up the Federation book, and it has the Federation insignia. I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, it's also shaped like the Federation insignia.
Huh.
It's beautiful. It's so much money. It's unbelievable.
I think that's an uber expensive collectible.
Who?
Hey, Katie.
Mm-hmm.
Katie! Oh, it must be early there. You're awake. She says, Katie's good to see you. I read your review. We read the review out to everybody there, dear. So I hope you're doing well. What book are you talking about? I know there was... Was it that book to the Federation, the first 150 years?
I'll tell you what it's called in a second. Come on.
I got given. That's it. I think that's what that's called. If memory serves.
Yeah, it's Federation, the first 150 years, and it's written by David. What the heck?
It's funny you mentioned that.
What the heck's this guy's name? David Goodman. Yeah, David A. Goodman. Yep.
It's funny you mentioned that.
Why?
I have it.
You have that? Do you have any idea how much that's worth?
About 4 months ago, a buddy of mine I hadn't seen in a couple of years, we all got together to go to one of those cons, the Gulf Coast Geek Gang, and he gives me this big ass. He's always bringing me stuff. He was making some space for some stuff, and my buddy Tex, and he hands it to me and said, "What is this? This big giant monster of a? I mean, it's ridiculously big."
Tex got that for you,
and he's had it for years. He was just didn't want to get rid of it, and he said he wanted to go anybody else but me. He said he was going to get in. I'm like, holy crap, dude, are you crazy? Let's see, I can show you a picture.
It's insane expensive, and the worst part is that when people go to look up the book is like, I think they can get the book for like $50 or whatever, $60, and they're like, well, that's not that collectible. But if you have that interactive stand, it shoots up astronomically in value, like mind-bogglingly. Like I don't think I've ever seen it for under, like, I don't know, like $500 or $600. I don't know.
That's amazingly cool.
It's a big monster.
Did you have the base too, Clobbering Times?
I don't know. You think I ever opened it? It's been only a few months and I never even bothered to open it.
So you probably have the base too, then, yeah.
It's monster size. It's a gigantic book.
Oh wow!
It's sitting in a bag on my floor.
I wonder if the batteries, you got to check the batteries so they don't go bad after it gets too old. It's in there. Yep.
Don't you plug that one in? I don't remember.
I thought it was battery powered, but
anyway, I saw that over at Ron Lamari's house, and like the guy's obviously like an animation genius. He's worked on everything, you know, anything and everything you've ever watched on a cartoon. He's drawn for them, and he's incredibly talented. And he had this on his coffee table. I'm like, Ron, what are you doing to me? And he was laughing at me, and I started reading it, and like he didn't even object to me opening it. He was going to let me open it and just read it. I just read the first couple of pages.
Well, let me go check, and I'll be right back.
Did you?
Yeah, that thing's nuts.
Did you put your cloaking device on and sneak it out of the house?
Be right back.
No, I'd never do that to Ron. I love him too much. But yeah, you should see his phaser collection. Unbelievable. Well, he lived in Hollywood, right? He worked for Warner Brothers. He worked for, you know, everyone. I should get him to do an interview with you and Clobby.
That'd be cool.
Wonder if he would do that. I am getting him to draw you something though, as a present.
I saw that. That's super nice. Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to speak with him this week, but I will speak with him and find out if he's finished that.
It's very nice of you. Thank you.
But yeah, he's a sweetheart, and I absolutely love Ron. I think he's such a ridiculously talented person. And
well, you sent Nick Weiser that pizza box, the turtle pizza box.
Well, that's how I met Ron Lamari. So he and I were both appearing at a popular, like a pop culture fair here, like an expo. His booth was directly beside mine, and we just got to chitty chatting, and my offspring was there, and she's gorgeous. She looks like a mermaid, and you know, and we were just visiting, and suddenly I look over and there's Ron and my offspring eating pizza together and chitty chatting. And so we just struck up a friendship, and we just really get along. We just really like each other. And and he was doodling in between visits with people who were coming up to meet him and get his autograph and stuff like that. And that was the pizza that he and my offspring had shared. And so he was just messing around with it. And I said, I looked over at it, and I was like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? I was like, I have a friend who would die to have that. Would you do me a favor? Would you finish it? And he was like, of course I will. And so, and I said, but will you do me a favor? Instead of signing it, would you just put your name? And if I send it to him in the United States, he'll look up your name and he'll die when he figures out who you are. And so Ron actually did his name in proper case instead of doing a signature. And then I sent it to Nick Weiser. Yeah. But because he was doodling, it's incorrect. I believe that it has the wrong.
Yeah, there was a mistake on one of the. But that makes it even cooler, I think.
Yeah, it's because he was messing around with it or whatever. Yeah, anyway,
he's got one of the wrong, either the wrong color or something wrong on one of the turtles, but.
Yeah,
it's all good. Yeah.
Yep, that's what I thought. That is it.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Yep. Yeah. Well, now you own it, because as soon as I see you in pub, see you in person, you're getting it. So it's gonna be yours.
Oh my God, you can't do that, Clobby.
I'm bigger than you. I can do anything.
He's the captain, right?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I mean, that'd be crazy.
I just forgot all about. I mean, I forgot. I didn't forget about it, but I don't have no place to put anything anyway. So I never
Put it
really.
on your coffee table.
I don't have one. I don't.
Oh,
I don't have room for nothing. I buy a new figure, it gets stuck on a bunch of other crap. Anytime I get something new, like a bunch of comics, goes on a crap pile of stuff. You would take care. You would appreciate this better than anybody. I saw it when he gave it to me. I'm like, dude, I don't want this big ass box of crap. He says, I had to get rid of it. I didn't have too much space for it.
You didn't have room either.
oh, I hope one day I
he
get
didn't
to
have much
meet
room.
Tex.
No, you'd love that idiot.
I want to meet him so bad. He's in the Global Geek Gang, but not the Global Geek Gang, the other Geek Gang. He's in the Geek Gang. Anyway, I've heard so many wonderful things about that marvelous human being. What a beautiful thing to give you. Tex is so cool.
No, he's a monster, actually.
He's
He's
a
an evil
monster.
Anyways,
Oh,
that
a
book is
link?
so
Yes,
beautiful.
Katie. Katie, you mean do you have a microphone and a what was I saying? A microphone and a headset? Go ahead. What were you saying, number one?
Oh, I wasn't saying anything, boss. I think just Mark's going to show us the
Yeah, you
Star
wanna
Trek
see some-
Voyager celebration.
Well, yeah. I sent you a link, Katie. If you're hearing us, if you want to stop in and say hi, we would
I
love
don't have
see
to wear
you.
gloves for this book, do I?
What?
No, you can go
Raquel, I
and
don't
eat.
have to wear gloves.
Look, I demand right now that you go and get a bag of Cheetos. You do not wash your hands, finish the Cheetos, and then pick up that thing. No, I'm kidding.
What are you looking at?
Oh, look, a
What
lot
is
of
this
blank pages. This is the Voyager book.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
Voyager
Mr.
celebration.
Angel made bread. Oh,
I want
Nice.
bread.
chef, I love you, chef.
There you go.
So here's Voyager, Hero Collectible. So it's a new book, Hero Collectible. I think didn't they do a lot of the ships or selling the ships, models, Hero Collectible?
Yes.
So it's 2020
think so.
CBS Studios.
All I
Copyright
know
Star
is
Trek.
that when I looked this one up, this one it's not a talking head book. This isn't like some author speaking for everyone. What I read about this book is it had original source material in it, so actual interviews.
So let's see if this works. Katie.
Hello?
Oh my goodness, there you
Okay.
are.
You can hear me.
Yes. Yes.
Hi.
Hey there.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
wow.
Look at this.
Nice to talk to you for the first time.
We can't
Nice
see you,
to
but we can hear
meet
you. There you go. Must be early over there, eh?
It is. It is.
Oh my goodness. Do you have this book? What am I saying?
Yeah, I have that book, and I also have the Voyager Companion, which came out in 01, as soon as the show ended.
Oh, nice. Good book.
Which is it's like Raquel's Deep Space Nine companion.
Oh, okay.
But it's a little better than that. Because it has some behind the scenes photos, and it's really good.
Nice.
Yeah, and I just got done reading that one, the Voyager Celebration. It was pretty good. It wasn't bad.
It's
little
newer, right?
opinionated, but good.
Ah, okay.
And this is Hero Collectors, a division of Eagle Moss.
Yeah, it's an Eagle Moss book. That's another reason why I
business.
chose it. Yeah.
Eagle Mouse has gone out of business too.
Yeah, I know. So that's a collectible now.
Yeah. Dang.
So this is all the episodes that they highlight. When they do key episodes, like Someone to Watch Over Me, and then they have summaries of the seasons.
Right. Okay.
Forward. Oh, I'm not going to flip the whole book, but yeah, nice pictures.
I do have a complaint though, and this is just me because I'm so particular. But they mixed up the season 5 and season 6 photos at the back of the book.
Uh-oh.
Ouch.
Really?
I also heard from a few people that are editors that there are a lot of typographical infelicities herein as well. So
yeah, I know. When I read through it, I wonder if I can find my old tweets about it as I was watching it. I mean, and it's a great book, mind you. I mean, I'm glad I have it. But there were a couple of typos and errors that I would not expect
Yeah.
I would not expect it for a book at this level.
Yeah. I agree.
Especially with today with spell check and grammar check. This is a 2020 book. I mean, but the pictures
Yeah.
are well done, and the
Mhm.
descriptions of some of the characters, and you could maybe read a
Oh, I
section
love
on
that
the characters.
photo of him and her. Oh God,
Yeah,
that's
there you
one of
go.
my favorite photos.
So it actually looks pretty good. So it's sort of living up to the hundreds and hundreds of reviews that I read.
Kazan. I can't stand the Kazan.
It's so bad.
It looked
I
terrible.
wish I had hair like that. At least I'd have
That
some
dude's
hair.
probably.
Yeah.
Do I have to wear this damn thing on my head?
Yeah, it looks like the tent off of the meatloaf that your mom made in the 70s. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the meatloaf tent. That's the aluminum foil meatloaf tent that yeah.
Tuvok. There you go.
Flashback. Remember that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my. He said, oh my.
Oh my.
I get to
Turing, yeah.
Yes, sir. There you go.
The cooking.
Yeah.
Oh, Wolfie.
Tuvok.
Uh-oh, what happened now?
Nothing.
Oh.
He's like, Nog? Nog's a Kazon?
Yeah.
Did they cover the lizard episode?
Oh, they did.
That's
Probably.
that's in
Threshold.
season 2.
Yes. Oh, Captain Proton. Love it.
Oh, me too.
I love Captain
That was my favorite holodeck program.
Yes. I'd play that one.
Oh,
Very
here's
cool.
the lizard episode.
Is that it? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
When I was watching that the first time, I could not believe what I was watching. Because I used to watch this. I remember. There's Sarah Silverman.
Yeah, they did figures on that. I'm not even kidding. They did figures. I wonder if those are worth anything. Stupid. The figures they did for that, it was like a two-pack set. I believe,
Mm-hmm.
from Threshold.
Anyway, I don't know if this will be good enough. I don't know if I'll try and see if somebody has a copy of it here. But I mean, where I live, this isn't this kind of thing you can't find anywhere for the Star Trek Voyager companion. But the reason why I brought up the Federation book is because if I'm going to spend like 120 to 150, not including shipping and handling and import fees for the Star Trek Voyager companion, I'd just rather get the Federation book.
You got that now. You own that one, so don't worry about it.
Oh, Clubby, you're so.
This one
I love
might be
you.
a while before we see each other, but you own it now.
There's the outfit that got me in a lot of trouble with the missus.
Why?
Because she walked in the room, and
Like
I
you
used to
watching
like
it.
plot myself. We had our first house, and I'd watch. When was Voyager on? Thursday night syndicated, or was on?
Was it Wednesday
or was it Wednesday?
on UPN?
Yeah, and I would plot myself in front, and like you have your own house. I can finally eat TV in front of the dinner, no matter what.
Eat
Have your own
TV?
I mean,
No.
eat your dinner in front of the TV.
You don't want to eat the TV, Mark?
My brain is
flustered.
fried.
That's
I'm
okay, so
fried
is
right
mine.
now. Yeah, but I was in the sun all day. But and my much better half walks to the room. She's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "Those are her implants, her Borg implants." We've heard that line
Oh, my
before,
God.
but she's like, what's that on the what's that lady wearing? What are you watching? What's going on there? It's not late night Cinemax or anything, but
Yeah, but
that
you know what
catsuit
I
outfit-
loved? You know what I loved is
What?
that as form fitting and as voluptuous she was, they didn't sexualize her. They didn't have her hopping in. They didn't have her showing herself off. She was brains. She was
She was
brains,
great
brawn, and
character.
beauty.
Yes.
She's my
Well,
favorite
they didn't have
character.
to-
I mean, I
They
absolutely
didn't
love
have
her.
to do much with that outfit. Actually, you just need the outfit.
Guys,
I
have to
know what you're
interrupt
saying,
here
though,
for
yeah.
two wags of a puppy's tail because JT Kirk is saying, so for clarification, which book are we going to reference going forward, Companion or Celebration? It looks to me like both are good. The Companion I haven't read. I would need to check what its sources are, and I would need to thumb through it before I could give you the full thumbs up. But according to Michael Beacom, it's quite good. I've read hundreds of reviews on this Celebration book, and I'm told that there is a lot of information in it that's not in other Star Trek books, and that it has a lot of new information about behind the scenes things that happened on Voyager. So I'm neither one of these books is conducive to podcasting. So unfortunately, like DS9, we're not going to be reading from it. It just doesn't suit what we're trying to do here. But it looks as though either one of these books would be a good source to get information on Voyager, and that's all that matters to me. I just don't want people going to Memory Alpha and going to these places where all the information is wrong and it's polluted with filth. So I think either one of these books, you could buy both of these books, certainly if you're American, because it appears as though Americans get this book for quite cheap. But by the looks of both of these books, we can't read them on air. So I'm going to endorse both books tentatively. I probably won't be able to afford the companion, but like I said, Michael Beacom likes it. I haven't checked the sources on the companion.
The sources are good. The sources come from the writers,
which
I appreciate.
Good, yeah.
And it gives you a synopsis of the episode, a little bit about writing the episode, the characters who are featured, and a little bit of behind the scenes facts about it. Each episode.
Can I ask you a question? How long is about how long is the summary? How many words would you say is the summary on each episode?
I don't know. I would say about each episode's about 2 pages to 2 pages and a half, depending on the episode.
Probably
if
like
it's
the
a
DS9
2-part,
Yeah, here's one.
But it's more detailed than the DS9 and better put together and laid out than the DS9.
Yeah, like here's Future's End, 1 page, 2 pages.
Yeah, I don't think either one of them are going to be conducive to podcasting, but both of them are great. And if you love
Raquel, when I get back home, because I'm in France, I'll send you pictures of my companion.
Okay, thanks, sweetheart. I'd love that. Thank you.
But what you could do, what's always nice too, is if you read about it and then you just grab a paragraph or two of something that's interesting, even if it's too long.
But that doesn't really work for our style of show because unfortunately, the way it works is we get about 200 to 300 people here on Saturday, and many of them are hardcore, long-time Star Trek fans. So really what they're looking for is if they haven't had an opportunity to rewatch all 4 episodes, and I think many, if not most people, don't have time to do that. It's a significant amount of time before the show. We like to give them a little summary to jog their memory and let them go, oh yeah, that's what happened in this episode. So it's got to be something pretty taut. It has to be something pretty precise and taut. It's got to be short, sweet, and accurate so we can get into the episodes.
And not opinionated.
But what you could do is...
Yes, exactly. You know exactly what I'm thinking, Katie.
Yeah, but like for Think Tech, I'm saying if you read that before and there isn't, you could read the Wikipedia, but if there is something really interesting here that Wikipedia doesn't have, it might be nice to just mention that. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, if there's a nice tidbit
and Michael Beacom does that, and you do that. Many people do that. I love it when you guys put stuff up in there, and you put the page number and you reveal those really juicy, cool facts. People love that stuff.
Cool. And there's some really detailed stuff in here. I'm very impressed by this book in terms of, just from skimming through it. And there's, gorgeous pictures and special effects and nice background, on the artwork and the design. And at least we're not stuck in a space station anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If people are wondering what I'm looking for when I choose a book that I think would be good, I sort of use the same techniques that I do for my classes when I'm teaching a class. I look to the needs of the audience and I look to the quality of the book. And so I think one thing that's really messed up Star Trek trivia and Star Trek knowledge in general is people who are very, very sure that they know stuff and what is wrong and what is right about Star Trek. And if you dig a little bit deeper, you soon discover that many of those folks have based their opinions on like memoirs and comments at conventions and things like that are put into these other books that are sort of commentary or fan, unauthorized fan books and stuff like that. And they're really useless, folks. They really, truly are. All you need to do is look at Twitter and other social media to see out of whack some of the comments from the people who have worked on the show. And memoirs only come from one person's perspective, and not everyone is 100% truthful or remembering things correctly. And so, like Katie was getting to earlier, I don't like books that are political. I don't like books that try and tell you what to think. And I don't like books that are based on what people said at conventions or what somebody said in their memoir. You'll hear me say it over and over again as an academic and as a post-secondary instructor. I want original source material. I want to hear what people in production and the directors had to say, the writers.
Precisely.
You don't want anyone trying to cultivate their own brand. Look at Armin Shimmerman. He said that he was, the first Ferengi, and he wasn't. And that's one small example in the millions of examples in Star Trek where people have tried to cultivate and nurture their own image through the things they produce. And we want to avoid that on this show. This is a non-political show that just offer the facts jack. And so I like things that are a little bit more academic and offers original source material so you can decide what you think through the comparative information that is factually based instead of feelings or opinion.
Yeah, or you could just watch the show and form your own opinion and not shove it down people's throats.
Right.
That's it.
You know what I mean, Katie?
Sure.
I've been in this fandom long enough. I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyhow.
Yeah, that's what I love. What we do. We're very diverse with the opinions here. I mean, there's almost rarely an episode where there isn't at least one or two. For example, let's say the consensus is everyone hates an episode. You're still going to get a few of us here that really liked it, or vice versa. When everybody just really liked it mostly, but you're going to get a few people going, I didn't like that one so much, and I love that about on whatever we're reviewing, that we have a pretty big, wide diversity of opinion when it comes to that stuff.
Well, like Species the episode where they were great.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. With the episode where they shrank the ship down, the shuttlecraft down, and in DS9, the little ship. What was it called? The little. I love that. I remember
there was a little ship that took a little trip.
One little ship.
and Raquel was trashing. Raquel was trashing that, and I loved it. She trashed it very well.
I love that.
I'm like, I love that episode.
It was so stupid.
It was stupid, but it was fun.
Yeah, Raquel having an opinion. But no, we have a lot of fun with that, though. Just everyone. And there's the bottom line: if you are trashing one, do it in a fun way, so we can laugh.
You've gotten to the pictures. Let's get to season 5 and season 6.
Yeah, but this is what the big problem with the book. These are the episode synopses. So for learning curve.
No.
You get, one paragraph, which, at least if they're giving you half a page or something on the
TV guide
on the episode. Yeah, just something on the episode. So season 3 and 4, they switch the pictures, or 4 and 5. You said. Katie?
Okay, no, that 4 is good.
4 is good.
I love 4. I love how they put all the couples together. That was a smart choice.
5.
Yep, that photo is 5. That photo is season 6 because B'Elanna's hair is permed and 7's in the eggplant suit.
Eggplant suit.
And
how could they get that wrong?
And then if you look at season 6,
perm,
and season 6 is clearly season 5 promo, which between those two, they're my favorite promos in the show. But I'm like, how can you get that mixed up? Because 7 is in the cobalt blue with the light sleeves, and she only wore that in season 5.
Wow.
So
I think you have to be
your
level fan to know that kind of stuff.
But that's the kind of fan you want. That's the kind of fan you want to trust, right?
Exactly.
Because like using that Ferengi example, like this is where I always wind up in an argument with people, or people think I'm wrong when I'm talking. It's like just like the Ferengi argument. Armin Shimmerman's on his Twitter telling people, I should know. I was the first Ferengi on Star Trek, and he wasn't. Of course, Mike Gomez was the first Ferengi on Star Trek. But what happens is people make that a part of of the Star Trek culture. It becomes the norm to say that Armin Shimmerman was the first Ferengi. Then people say,
was he in that first episode with the Ferengi?
Yes, but he comes after, or is he even in the last outpost?
Last Outpost
Is he
is
in?
for someone Ferengi, but is he? Maybe he's in that one. I don't. I think he was.
He
in
was.
it?
He was.
Yeah, but
He
the
was in the last.
He's
the
not the
first
first
person
on
to
screen, though.
talk was Mike
Right.
Gomez, and he was the
Yeah.
first Ferengi. But
Right.
this is what I mean. That's why you have to have people around like me and Katie. Otherwise, you can get yourself into trouble. No, there's people all over the internet who sit there and say, "Well, no, it's Armin Shimmerman," and I'm like, "No, it's Mike Gomez." And then you got people like Katie who's like, "She's in the Cobalt and Light. You got it wrong." And so, maybe don't build your entire trivia game or cards or system or whatever or app on what people are putting on IMDb and the cesspool known as Memory Alpha.
Which Memory Alpha, I mean, before 2016 was a good place to go, but I don't go to it anymore because I got my mother into the franchise, and I just say don't go on Memory Alpha. Just don't.
Yes.
No.
Like, do you remember
they're filth friendly. So.
What?
But
Do you remember when it changed?
No, because
Just when you
became
started seeing more and more filth people coming in and changing all of the memories.
I would say it was about 2018 because I became a fan in 2016, and when I started watching the shows, but I would say about 18, 19, and especially during 2020 when everyone was on their computers.
It's not Memory
It
Alpha
completely
anymore. Now,
changed.
now
They
it's
changed the photos.
reprogramming
I have to
Alpha.
interrupt, sorry, because we got to, before it scrolls by, I can't get to my computer. JT Kirk, member for 11 months, says Jennifer Lawrence was the very first Grand Nagus.
that's true.
That's true. Jennifer Lawrence, I could buy her and sell her. You clothe your Jennifer Lawrences?
Oh,
Now,
little
this is
Jenny. Jenny came before Zeki.
The first of these was blue, by the way. You got the red one from later, but I'll forgive you.
Oh, but this is my. I've read this.
I love that book. Alan
all the
Asherman?
time.
Oh,
I
it's a-
love
it's
this.
a great
Oh,
book,
this is
man.
so good. So you get to read
Gene,
about
Look at that
everybody
handsome
stand.
man. Go back there. Look at that. God, I love
Superheroes
Steve
both.
Roddenberry.
So this is the book to have. My opinion
Yeah.
on Star
The
Trek. So
compendium is great, but but this is too. The
And the
compendium
way he's, I mean, and I just want to say the way he's trashed now,
Right?
I can't stomach it.
Yeah, same here.
Gene, I just it makes my skin crawl.
Agreed. Absolutely horrific.
These people would have nothing if it wasn't for him. Nothing.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And many of them,
Absolutely.
their careers didn't amount to anything after Star Trek. And look at little Wesley. Little Wesley went and ran to the every single news agency and started saying, what's the exact quote? This is paraphrasing, but this is almost verbatim. I don't want to be one of those people sitting at a convention talking about my Star Trek memories and having people pay me for my Star Trek memories. And what happened to him? You see him at every convention. He's got a podcast now. It's all about Star Trek. So it's so funny that these
little
people
fallback.
bite the hand that feeds them and they amount to nothing. Denise Crosby? Hello, Denise Crosby? Hello, Denise Crosby.
She did
Little
Pet
fallback.
Cemetery. She did Pet Cemetery.
She did Trekkies.
But see,
I've
this
met
is
her.
what-
She's very nice, though. I mean,
Yes.
but that just comes
Yeah.
from
She
my
is-
camp. But
She has been nice to Trekkies after that. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, what I don't appreciate is a snob who thinks they're better than you.
Yep.
And we
Right.
know that there's a lot of people out there like that, and
That's for sure.
I can't take it.
So true.
That's for sure. You are so right. I love this book, dude. Like I said, you got the
Yeah.
later edition there. I bought mine. The first edition was in 1981. It's blue one, and then did they add stuff to like movies?
Yeah,
This one?
20th century.
He added the movies to
revised.
this one.
Yeah, revised up. And what I
Yeah.
love about this is, the synopsis is maybe you get 2 pages for some of the episodes, but that's where I wish that, Man Trap is 1.5 pages. Naked Time is,
Yeah.
1.5 pages. So, when the episode would come on, you'd read about it, and it wasn't a ton of reading, but it had, the
Right.
basics and some, the star date. So I wish that the Voyager
Who's your
book-
favorite? Galileo 7.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
George.
I wish they had done
Another great episode.
like a synopsis, at least half page on each. I guess there's many more episodes, but
Well, we got
That's
spoiled by
big-
the block test. The 365
Yeah.
thing was easy because it was all had to be on one block, right?
Yeah, that's why I
Yep.
picked them. They're beautiful.
And that was good.
Nice and short.
They
and
should have
sweet
done that for every
episode.
series, and they would have been
They
perfect.
should have, and they should have paid her to do it because it really is such a great, and beyond podcasting, it makes a wonderful table book. I know
Yeah.
the pages are difficult to turn because like Clobby and I always joked about the fact that her last name is Block, but the book
It's a
was like a
Book's a
brick.
block.
It was like a cinder block of reading, and so the spine was just terrible. Like I had to buy another copy of the book because the spine was just trash by the time Clobby and I were done reading it. Because but you should have seen the pictures in it. Oh, didn't you buy it, Mark?
Oh yeah. Well, actually, my mom bought me that book for $5 in Marshalls.
Ah,
You know
found
that
Nice
book
book.
now is into the $200 and $300
What?
dollar range. And do
Oh
you
my
know
God,
that
my
there
mom's gonna
are
want it back now.
And do
sell
you
it.
know that there are multiple pages in that book that contain images that have never been seen before or since in that book? That's a great
That's
book.
a great book.
Wow. I
Yeah.
used to
Well,
see
there's
it at
two,
the
there's
books.
two block
I
texts.
saw it at
aren't
the
there?
bookstore all day. This original series of TNG. But I saw
Yeah,
it at the
right,
bookstore
yeah.
all the time. I said, "This is so cool. I'd like to get this one day." And then
Yeah, it's beautiful.
damn it.
Here's your
I miss
index here,
books
too.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
I miss quality books.
Yep.
absolutely.
I love this with the index. Well, let me get the book with the spinning cover. Maybe people
That's
would like
the
to see that.
coordinates. Yes,
Coordinates,
you have the concordance. I didn't know you had it.
Yes.
This
Yep.
I have the original BJ Trimble Star Trek concordance. Actually, the very first one was a spiral bound, like it looked like a script type thing. But the one that was produced
Oh.
as a book, which I think that's right. You did show me you had it. I've had mine
Yeah,
since
let's see, where
the
is it?
late '70s, and it's the coolest of all those books.
Yeah, it is the
This is
cool.
got
Oh, here it
probably
is.
better info, the compendium, but the concordance, man. You got if any of you haven't
This
seen
is
that,
cool. This is really cool. You guys
You got
like this. Yeah.
She was
Yep, I
a
got
sweetheart, wasn't she, Larry? We owe her a lot.
it. This is it.
BJ. Oh yeah, BJ Trimble, the ultimate ultra fan.
And
then
proactive
her book-
too. She actually
book-
made an impact on Star Trek.
She did.
Her book on the Good Ship Enterprise is fantastic.
Yeah, no fan has ever affected. Probably ever really affected a franchise or an IP or whatever quite like she did, which is astonishing.
Let's see.
Well, they can't find it.
No, I was looking for the Good Ship Enterprise. I have it upstairs in my room. I have 2 copies of it.
Nah, I know what book you're talking about. You don't have the concordance with you?
Oh, I have it in my hand. I'm just walking back from my
That's
my
right.
room. I have the headset mic on so I can walk around and gab.
Nah. Dude,
Did
Like
you
I
go-
got her earpiece.
Did you go to the magical basement of stacks and stacks of merch?
Well, this is in my family
There it is.
room, which I
Oh,
get
I've
in
seen
trouble
this
for
one
having.
before. You
man,
showed us
yours
this
is
one
better
before.
condition than
Yeah.
mine. Damn it!
Damn it,
Chloe
Mark.
has this book. Yep.
Look at this thing though. I love it. The spin wheel
It's a
thing.
great idea. So
Now
you spin the
no
wheel.
one can see it. You can't. No one can see it.
So I'll zoom in. but
Katie,
here-
why don't you change your avatar to your beautiful 7 of 9 cosplay, honey?
I don't know how to do it.
Did I tell you how?
Edit studio avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Baby,
Ah.
put your picture up. You're beautiful. You're beautiful, young ballerina, gorgeous young fan.
No, you sound
You're-
like my mother.
That's my job.
She does the same thing to me, dude. She talks about.
I have to do that.
He does it to all of us, Katie. So yes, so you had the little
It's important
wheel
for me to
thing.
brag about you, Katie.
and you could like it's alphabetical. So you got the title, the call letters, the page
Yeah.
it's on,
Yep.
and then of course the star date. I love this thing. I mean, I
So
used to
cool.
play with that thing
It's
so
such a
much.
great idea.
Oh, it's still man, yours is
Call letters.
mine's in pretty good shape, held up wise, but it's kind of out. The cover's a little beat up.
The disc
there
is a
you
little
go.
bit off. Say like
There's
62
Oh,
yesteryear. Yep. So it's just a lot of fun.
it
I could
is.
just spend this. I could just spend this all day.
Mhm.
So
But,
you got
you know,
that.
So that's
And
one of the
then,
coolest books. I
Let me
still have the
get the-
technical manual too from the same period. And that's
I
'cause
received
this-
my my original release TMP poster this week. I
Oh,
ordered it from
nice.
someone who didn't print it on paper. They printed it on vinyl.
wow.
And it's movie theater size. And I framed it yesterday, and I just stood in front of it like it was like a mountain. It was majestic. I can't wait to hang it up. It's going to need 2 nails though.
Nice. Forgot they only use artwork in this. I don't think they used any pictures.
Yeah, but great
What
for
year was this
but
book?
great for cosplay. Great for cosplay.
This is
If
like
you look at fan art from this
76.
time,
5,
whew,
6.
76. Well, this version
76.
76. Dedicated to 3 men who make this book possible: Gene Roddenberry for creating Star Trek in the first place, John Trimble for believing I could get this book together, Martin Levita for making certain that I did it.
aw. Hey, Westward
there-
Smile is here.
Hey, Westward Smile, what's up? Welcome, sir.
Were there many books on TV shows back in the day, or is this an unusual?
I mean, some,
Some,
but not
right?
like today. But yeah, there were some.
Yeah.
I love
was a
Mark
newer-
Scott Zickery's Twilight Zone Companion. That was a great book.
Yep.
Mark Scott
That was a
Zickery,
good show.
great. Oh yeah,
Mr.
love it.
Sci-Fi.
Love that
Great
show.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. So yeah, Twilight Zone Companion was one of my. Actually, Doctor Who had a few good books at the time. Not too many. Only 1 or 2. They just had the novels. But right then, you were just lucky to get a Star Trek novel back then.
Yeah.
When it started, there's no TV show. When there was no TV show going on at the time, we were like ecstatic to get a novel.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that was big stuff because the racks weren't loaded with it. You had the Gold Key Trek comic, but other than that, you didn't have a lot of
Yep.
Star Trek out there.
And there's a lot of great info in this
Listen,
book,
you
too.
think there was slim pickings in Louisiana? Imagine being in Canada.
in the Delta Quadrant.
True, it had to been tough to get those. Yeah,
We had nothing here. Nothing.
Oh, yep, you were in the Delta Quadrant.
I was in the Delta Quadrant.
Shite.
There's no photos,
Put Katie up, please. I don't like to. I know you don't mind if I touch the show, but I don't touch the show. I don't like to, boss. Can you
I do
show?
because I like to change things.
Yeah, I know, Mark. You're gonna shin kicks.
Only
Boss
she
man,
doesn't
can
mind.
you show Katie?
You
Can
don't
you
mind,
make
do
her
you,
big?
Katie?
Yeah, make her
I
big,
don't
please.
mind. Everyone's seen it.
Look at this cutie
Oh, well.
patootie. Oh yeah, she put it out publicly. Otherwise, I would never ask.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at
this
that
was
cutie
at
patootie.
a recent con, or wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was that was the day actually I met Jerry Ryan. It was so wonderful.
Oh, Vegas, huh?
Yeah, it was at
Aw.
Vegas. It was
at
it
how
was my
cute
second
you
time
are.
cosplaying as 7.
She's jealous of
I
you.
loved it. I loved it. It was.
You look
it was a
better than
great
Jerry
day.
Ryan.
I heard she
Oh,
was jealous
no.
of you. As a matter of fact, that's what she told me.
Well, to be fair,
No,
Katie didn't have 50 pounds of whale boning to constrict her. Look at her. I mean, this is a ballerina, folks.
No,
I'm bragging
no,
like I'm your
funny
mom
enough,
again.
No, she told me I looked great, like a lot of because when I got the photo with her and then when I
Yeah.
got her autograph, but I have video of when I asked the panel a question, and the first thing out of the gate is she yells, "You look great," and it made my day.
Aw,
Well, that's so
Yes,
nice.
I
Katie. You do look
Yeah.
Very
great.
nice.
It was
great
a
costume.
wonderful day.
Well, if I'm not
And she
mistaken,
was
you
super
had
nice,
some
right?
other costumes of 7, right?
She does.
You've done others or
Well,
no?
that's
I thought you had the silver one too, hon.
No, I don't like
Oh.
the silver one. I was so glad
Okay.
when she was out of that. No, I have the blue one, but I've worn it
Oh.
different times.
Oh,
So under
okay.
different lighting, it looks different.
I get
Roger.
Yeah, and then I have the Cleon costumes that I made.
Oh,
And
okay.
which were did you ever see those photos?
I didn't.
I think
I
you
don't
did,
think so.
but
I didn't.
if
That's
you want to
just-
Yeah,
show
I
them
wish I
again,
could share them on
Show this to
here.
us one.
you can. I'll
if you
flip
send
them,
them-
honey.
Yeah, you can. Well, you can do them either that.
No.
You can send to one of our Twitter. DMs
Yeah, or
one
you
of
could
these
send
days.
it to Mark. Send it to
We can show
Mark.
later. You don't have to do it now if you feel like it, but I mean, we can do it.
Yeah.
We can show them
Okay.
later. Yeah. But so you've done some cosplaying then, obviously.
Yeah,
Other than
no, definitely the most complicated was my Bator cosplay.
Oh, wow.
That was something else.
But how do you do a
But-
cosplay like this, Katie? Do you buy something, or you make everything from scratch, or
Well,
the 7 of 9?
it was actually a dance leotard my mom found online, and then I put together all the implants and everything. And I got the comm badge. I can't remember where I got that comm badge. I think it was on Etsy. And I actually this year I at Vegas, I qualified in the costume contest, and I was a finalist, but I lost out to Badgie.
Oh,
Who? Who?
Just look it up. Badgie
Oh,
from Lower
Badgie.
Decks.
Oh, Lower Decks. Oh, I can't. Ugh. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And the thing is that the person who was judging the costume contest didn't actually work for Star Trek. She worked for the convention, so she didn't even know any characters. And one of the finalists was someone dressed as Frida.
Also from Lower Decks.
No, Frida Kahlo, the
That's
communist
the
painter.
artist. The artist.
Oh wow.
How does that happen? Was she on the holodeck at one time in Star Trek? Or right? I
No.
don't remember her being on the
that's
show.
No.
That's weird.
No, I expected, but
Well, you should have won.
Yeah, I vote for Katie.
oh,
Nope.
thank you. Yeah,
Nope.
no.
If
then I
you
wore
don't
my-
vote for Katie, I will
Shin kicks.
rover you.
no, yeah. So I've done 7. I've done Bator. I've done Jadzia from Trials and Tribulations and Nurse
yeah.
Chapel,
Ah,
the original church.
the only Nurse Chapel.
Yeah, no, I love it. I'd go to Vegas this year, but I'm going to a pilgrimage during that time. And now with the whole writer's strike and everything, I'm kind of lucky that I'm not going because they can't talk about Star Trek. So
Oh, they can't do anything, right?
yeah, it's really unfortunate. I assume a lot will probably pull out, and I don't blame them.
Mm-hmm.
But you could have. Oh, and what about actors? Like, would an actor be able to go there? And
They
Now they're
can,
on
but
strike?
they can't talk. But they can't talk about any of their
Acting?
projects. Yeah, they can't talk about what they do.
Wow.
so they could talk
um,
about like basket weaving and.
No, it'll probably get very political, and
It always does.
that's one
Yeah,
thing
it
that I
definitely
just
will.
don't want to deal with.
And they're supposed to be going on
Wow.
strike as well, which hasn't happened since 1961. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's really incredible what's happened. I've
If
never
my memory
actually
serves me
seen something
correctly.
like this before.
yeah.
Oh, they are on
So-
strike right now, actually, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
They-
Yeah,
They voted
yeah,
to
the
go.
actors joined in.
Oh,
yeah.
they joined in. They have already.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're on strike.
and
Yeah.
they can't even post or retweet anything of their projects related.
Cray cray.
So I know.
They're fighting about AI. I think is one of the big sticking
Yes.
points.
Well, the AI. I completely agree with why they're striking. I mean, you've got companies that want to use their image for AI as like background, and then never credit them or give them residual, which is not fair. And then their health insurance is like $27,000 a year, or something like that. And I mean, these CEOs who have run these franchises into the ground, they're completely out of hand.
And Fran
Yep.
Drescher is the president of the Actors Guild right now.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
anyone
boy.
remembers the show.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure she's she's a very intelligent person. I'm
Well,
sure,
she's
but
very riled
persona-
up. So
Yeah. But yeah, it's Fran Drescher from the show The Nanny? Is that
Yeah.
the show?
yeah, I didn't watch it,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But that was
Yeah.
that show. Yeah, I didn't want.
Actually, a friend from my high school wrote for that show. So, got to
Damn
talk
it, Mark.
about that. Damn it,
Now they're
Mark.
on strike.
Not that I was a big time, fan of the show, but I watched it. When you know someone from your class, so you
Right.
kind of knew peripherally was a writer for the show. So it was interesting, yeah. But so I was like, oh, Fran Drescher's the head of Hollywood now.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
care who is. I mean, I understand why they're doing it. I mean, I'd be very upset if somebody took my image and then wouldn't credit me.
Yeah, because I know
Or,
that James Earl Jones has sold his voice to Disney. I
Yeah.
think Mark Hamill did the same. That's different if the actor
That's different
agrees
if
to
they
it and
do
gets
it.
paid in
Well, but I
perpetuity.
also think that it's about power differential, right? So you're talking about using somebody's image in perpetuity, which could be reconstituted through AI mechanisms to make new
Mhm.
products. And the power differential I'll speak to as, imagine that you have not been discovered. You get on a show, and it's your first show, and you're really excited about it, and the show does really well. Just think about William Shatner sleeping in his car. He didn't get any royalties for Star Trek, right? So
Yeah.
it's not only about reconstituting the image through AI mechanisms, so having the image in perpetuity, but it's also about that power differential when you're onboarding new actors or you're discovering new talent, what people will be willing to settle for. I don't think Def Leppard was paid the same amount for their first album, High and Dry, as they were for Hysteria. So, there's
they
a
were
power
left high and
differential.
dry for that first album.
Well, there's a power differential, I'm just saying. And so if you combine those two things, you wind up with quite a dangerous product, because now you have a young actor or actress and they've gone to a studio, they've signed a contract, they're paid very little money. Now that image is owned, it could be reconstituted through AI, and they don't get any royalties from it. So it's really a nefarious scheme, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, look at Harrison Ford being de-aged in Indy. I mean, it was pretty darn believable. So who's to say they couldn't, I'm not take another actor. I mean, it'll never be the same, but
wait. 1 second. Limrod said that High and Dry was not Def Leppard's first album. What was Def Leppard's first album? I don't know. I'm not like some big Def Leppard fan. I was just throwing that out there. Anyway, go ahead, Mark.
I don't remember, but
Pyromania was.
Oh yeah, On Through the Night. Yeah. Yes.
Most bands get really raked over the coals notoriously by their agents and their companies. So
well, that's why I use that as a way to characterize what's happening, so that people can fully understand it. Because I think like William Shatner has said numerous times, that people are shocked, confused, and think he's lying when he says, I didn't get royalties from that. So,
plus, he got divorced too, which didn't help, and he owed a ton of money to his wife.
But no one got paid from that gig. And look at it; it turned into an international cultural phenomenon. And so it's kind of scary, because you have such a low sense of agency when you're first coming into your craft, whether that be music or acting or writing or whatever. And you can really be exploited quite easily. And with the ability to reconstitute the images, that makes it absolutely insane. It takes the insanity to Mach 4 or whatever. Like it's crazy. Yep. That's a crazy proposition.
By the way, everyone, Katie says she has to run in a minute.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, no.
That's okay. We're about to get out here anyway.
Yeah, I have classes.
Shaky Poo, you were so good tonight. I'm so proud of you. You did such a great job.
Oh, well, thank you.
And look at your sexy avatar. I'm so happy you joined us.
Oh, well, I can't thank you enough. No, when Clobby said I could come on for Voyager, I mean, how can I not?
I'm so happy you did, my dear. And anytime you want to come on, like I say, when you can't make it, if you want to send a review, your review of every episode will get read by me. But when you can make it, you can stop by with us after the show, whenever you're able, and no pressure, just when you're able. We'd love to have you visit with us and stuff. But we definitely always want your insights on every episode now, if you can.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Well, because you know how detailed I am.
Hey, nobody knows the show like you.
No, it got me through a lot of hard times, which I'll always accredit it to.
Nice.
Like that was my glimmer of hope for a very long time. So
I know how you feel.
I think that's a beautiful relationship to have with Star Trek, but I'm never going to forget you being such a young, beautiful woman. You're in university, you're a ballerina. You show up to a room full of old fogies and you watch TOS with us. Like, how cool are you?
How could I not?
And there are people your age who are pretending like they watched the show. You don't pretend to do anything. You joined in with us. You watched every episode. You had amazingly good opinions on everything you watched. You actually cared. Instead of pretending and lying on social media, you actually hung out with us. I think you're the coolest chick.
I mean, and my mom, God love her, she got me TOS, the full complete series on DVD for Christmas.
Nice.
How could you not like it? I mean, it's so iconic. It's so good.
It's
You
comfort
know, and
food
it's
for the
better than
soul.
anything that's out now. And I'm not just talking Star Trek. I'm just talking TV in general. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh,
writers
yeah.
back then were competent, they cared, and they wanted you to walk away with an opinion or a difference of thought. You may
Mhm.
not change your way of thought, but it opened you to a different avenue of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Very so.
love stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't want to
Um,
see Spock eating bacon and laughing about it.
Yeah, no, that would not happen. And I don't
Please.
know what you're
The-
talking about, but you need to
filth.
stop talking about the filth, or I'm going to
Hey.
put you through the Klingon life
Raquel's
ascension.
going to walk out.
I unfortunately saw Twitter. I haven't watched the show, but I saw something on the tweets today, and it made me sick.
I
to my
saw the
stomach.
same thing.
Uh-oh. If I told you about that last episode of Strangle the Worms, you would want to strangle me. You want to
Yeah, I
strangle what they did to Spock and that. Of course, it's trash. It's not real Trek anyway. It's not real Trek anyway.
No.
But Katie, we're getting down here in a bit anyway. But if you want to hang more, if you want to run, just let us know.
No, I'm gonna
But
have to run.
I got you.
But no, it's been so
Thank you,
wonderful.
dear.
I love that you are so kind to want me actually on to talk.
Anytime.
You know, it's nice when someone wants to hear your opinion.
Well,
So
you are the expert, and this is your
Oh,
show. This is
well.
your show, so you own it, as far as I'm concerned. So.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, I wish I did.
Katie's like, yes, please.
Just know, even when we're mean to an episode, we know that the Katie will love it anyway, folks. So even if
Well,
you know,
I think
Can I
we can
ask
all
you a question
mutually
before you
agree
go?
threshold. Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Are you in a major production over there? Like, are you dancing right now? Obviously, Katie, everyone here knows I'm a dance mom. So Katie is very special to me, like immediately as soon as I met her, because I have
Aw.
offspring similar, but quite a bit older than her. So I have to ask, are you involved in a production right now?
It's not a production, it's an intensive, which is it's been a 3-week intensive in the south of France. And I dance like 8 hours a day.
You getting your homework done?
Yeah. Well, I'm not in college right now.
Okay.
I'm off right now. I
Okay.
get into my senior year at the end of August.
Okay, good.
And
And you're not going in the summer, you're giving yourself a break, but you're not actually getting a break because you're dancing.
at least you're not breakdancing.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, no, I'm doing ballet point, contemporary jazz.
Good girl.
Excellent.
But it's
Amazing.
a refined professional school.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
and
Do you speak French?
A little bit.
A little bit. Isn't
bit.
French the language of dance, or?
Yes, actually, yes, because Louis XIV is credited with coming up with ballet as we know it, and it is in the French language, like all the movements.
That's what I thought. Yep.
So yeah, no, it's a wonderful, and Europe is so more refined than the U.S.
They're not making you eat escargots over there, or escargots, as
No.
Mr. Furley would say.
No.
I would imagine she's not eating very heavy right now because she's involved with an intensive program.
8 hours a
that
day,
would
yeah.
result in an unfortunate occurrence of vomiting. So
No, as soon as long as I get my coffee, I'm good.
yeah, she's
I'm
They have
like
good
you
coffee
with
over there.
coffee.
she's eating
Coffee
light
is
and working
excellent
hard,
there, right?
Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like me. I had 2 ice cream cones tonight. Oh God.
Well,
That was
I
very
just had
bad.
to ask you because I just want to tell you how darn
No,
proud I
you're
am
so
of you.
sweet. No, you've been a
tell your
lovely
dance
friend.
mom-
You've been a lovely friend to me through a lot.
Well, you know what, sweetheart, you deserve it. You've earned it. Please tell your lovely dance mom that the other dance mom says hello. I'm so proud
I
of you.
will.
Just kick
Oh,
butt
thank you.
and have a great day, honey. And we'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for
All
joining
right.
Have
us.
fun,
Thank
Katie.
and
you,
Over there.
offering
and
us
thank you, Clobby
your
and Mark. I'm so
expertise.
grateful.
Nice to meet you.
All right, Katie. Love you,
Thank
Katie. You be
you.
good, and we hope to see you soon. Come back whenever
Hope
you
to
can.
see you next week. All right.
Okie dokie. You got it.
LLAP.
Indeed. Live long and prosper, everybody. Yes, indeed. So, there you go, folks. The wonderful Katie, our good friend. What a sweetheart.
Yay, and she did so
That was
well.
great.
Yeah, absolutely. She's just amazing. She's
And
a
her
very
mic
good
sounded
speaker.
great too.
It did, yeah. She's a very good speaker, very, very sweet, sweet lady. And we're glad to have her as a friend here. So let's see here. Before we get out of here, I will ask my wonderful first officer
Yeah.
if you have any closing words.
Folks, I have another book coming out, and I could sure use your help. Please look for me on Patreon. You can support me there, and I could sure use your support. But other than that, I just want to thank everyone who came to the show tonight to support this channel, to support this show, to just get yourself involved in the best conversation ever. Wow, did we ever have a great time tonight?
Oh, yes.
And that's because of all of you. Each one of you as individuals, you create this magic through your opinions, through your ideas, through, just the way you interact with one another. It is delightful. And it's such an honor to host it, to be a part of it. You guys are the best. So thank you one and all for the marvelous conversation this evening. I also want to say hi to Mark, even though he was late, and tell him how much we value his friendship. He is such a great and talented guy. Get your buns on over and follow him on Twitter. He has some technical stuff going on with his YouTube, but he needs a follow over there too. So hop on over there and get that done. And last but certainly not least, I want to say, Clobby, I love you very much. You're one of the best friends I've ever had in this whole wide, weird, strange world in my entire life. I adore you. I just love you so much. Thank you for the comics. Maybe most of the people in the audience don't know what that means, but you know what that means. So thank you for the Cage comics. I love you so much. And that's it, everyone.
Thank you so much. Chief Engineer Marco, what's up?
All right.
Closing words?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Raquel. That sounds like a broken record, but every time I hear you say so many nice things, much appreciated.
Yes.
Clobberin has a joke like, who's she talking about? We can't be that good.
We still don't know.
We still don't
Katie,
know.
she's still talking to Katie. Let's talk about Katie, but not us.
Katie. That was really fun to meet Katie in person tonight. Of course,
yes,
in the chat, but in person it was great to meet her. So best of luck, Katie, in your class in France. And no Sunday Night Geekery. I'm away at Scout Camp doing my volunteering. And hopefully it's not going to rain like crazy, but I'll be back midweek, and then I'll be back for the clubhouse, and probably no videos during the week. But it was just fun to jump in tonight while I've been packing and making lists. But looking forward to getting back to the air conditioning on Wednesday. It's not so crazy weather. The Northeast, it's not.
I'm
melting
right
the best weather,
now.
Yeah, it was melting. It was melting. But we had what clouds. We always joke about food. I'll be very, very quick. But my son had his graduation party. You and the food. But we had. I'll show you pictures later, Clobberin, privately. But we had chicken nuggets and French fries and so it was all normal food. And then we rented an ice cream truck with the soft ice cream to come to the party because we had a lot of people, and that was a lot of fun. So but then like you got your cone and like it started to melt like instantly. But it was good. Soft serve ice cream is awesome. But so sorry about the food, but comment. But what the
No, you're not. Don't apologize for something you're not sorry about.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the Gorn eat soft ice cream. I don't know. Everyone have a great week. Stay safe out there if you're where this heat wave is. I know Arizona is going to hit like 120 degrees. I hope Vegas store is okay. But I did post a new video with Steve Mitchum, so I'll put that link in the chat, and you guys can check that out. So with some of the storm, I combined the storm that was last night and our favorite Vegas store. So. JT Kirk says it's soft. Yeah, it's Mr. Softy was the name of the soft ice cream truck. No jokes here, guys. Come on. My dad man was making some jokes last night about that, but on the show on his stream. Yep. But thanks again. It's always a pleasure to be here and hanging out with everyone in the chat and you guys. It's really special to be here on every Saturday night. So everyone take care, and I'll post this video and check out Vegas. Some cool lightning in Vegas store makes an appearance.
Everything that guy just says is bullshit. Thank you.
How'd that happen?
What? I don't know. I think that was Raquel. I think Raquel finally learned how to play clip.
Yeah. Well, everybody, let's see here. Show notes and shout out time. First of all, not much going on in the show notes department. There will be, as Mark said, no Sunday night geekery, but it doesn't mean we can't flash the picture there. Hell, what is it? No. Anyway, so there's that there won't be. But Monday night, Mark C. Comics Talk. Before Mark C. Comics Talk at 6 p.m. Central, I'll be on J-Man's great channel doing 3 more issues of the Legion of Superheroes, chronicling those adventures of our wonderful Silver and Bronze Age Legion. And then Monday night for the regular time, it'll be Mark C. Comics Talk. I don't know, we'll review a comic and talk some basic comic talk because that's the way we roll up in you. So and then of course all the regular shows coming up next week, including next week. I didn't even get a picture ready for I'll get one though for next week's Saturday at Star Trek. It'll be the first of episode 2 through 4 of Voyager. I can't believe I forgot all about that. Anyway, nevertheless, it is time to shout out our fantastic friends. We'll start with, of course, our great wrenches, as always, and then we'll shout everybody else out because that's how we roll up in here on Saturday nights. Eric K, the great bronze wrencher, Vindicated Wrench of the Great Right North, Chris Persia, D-Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron, Lord Thoth, the God of Wrenches, Avon lives, long live the Legion, J-Man Wrench Without Fear, Hungry Boy Master of the Claboni, Super Wrench Supreme Kal-El, Maddie's Daddy, and Fanty Outsider, and our music meister himself, the great Max Redstone. And now, who else was up in here? Of course, the aforementioned great chief engineer, Mark D. with a C, our wonderful communications officer, Anti-Derivative Jill. Again, big good vibes going out to my buddy J.D. Lewis. Hope he gets better. Hope you get better, sir. Mega Cropper, Joseph Dredd. Here comes the judge. Jacob Ironside, Shooter. Let's see. Raymond and Sandra Feliciano, King Dolphin TV in color. Penny, Gwagnar, Ravenscroft, Mr. Angel, Chef, Larry, Linrod, Sander Hammerslag, Simply Steve, SP4H, Lisa, lovely Lisa, Scuba Pete, Brian Hepburn, Enigmatic Drop Bear, Wolfie. Thanks again for the pictures, buddy. Always appreciate you. Thanks so much. Bubba Doom 1, Fill Up Gaming, Captain Infinity and Beyond. Let's see here. Neurotinex Amanda Bear, Sean Carter from Mars, Turing Machine, RJ Godzilla, Midnight's Oblivion, I should say. So Midnight's Oblivion, yes. Sorry. Fiona, thanks for being here, Fiona. Always lovely to see you. Tobor the Robot, Snail Messiah, Admiral Tig, Anonymous Gamer, Dadman and the Dadman Clan, Victor Fontaine, thank you so much. The AI Show, Jerry Lahane, Rob Altus, buddy, Scott Knudsen, thank you so much. PD York, yo, Keely Chow, Roll That Tide, Blunt Philly Reviews, Matt G, Classic Comics, buddy, CC. Let's see here. Almost done. Hey, MMM came in at the last minute there, so we'll say MMM. Masters Maniac, yeah. Mexico. Also, want to thank, Mighty Orbots, Parker Luck, Captain James C. Skywalker, T.Z. Burton, Cardinal Sin, Phil, Tetrarch Apathy, Abigor, Crease, 1984, Monkey Jeebus, DJ Ronnie G, Westward Smile, and last but not least, I want to thank the lovely, beautiful Katie. Katie, we love you. We thank you so much for being here with us tonight. You're the best, and can't wait to see you come back. So, everybody, everyone, thank you again. I cannot thank you enough. What a great time you have all made it. You're just extraordinary. So, I will leave us with these, these important messages and credits. Good night, everybody. Have a wonderful remainder of your weekend. Trek on and clobber on, clobberers. And folks, before we get out of here, we had to show you that because that's perfect. Great Chris Persia gave us that, inspired by our wonderful friend Fiona. Look at that. Be gone, you bubble-headed booby. Good night, everybody. Have a wonderful tomorrow. Good night.